I am angry this week.
Is it because you're the Vengeance or whatever?
Vengeance.
Oh, wait, you haven't seen Batman yet. Still,
yeah.
That's soon though.
No,
you can watch that soon.
Oh yeah, it's like next Monday. It'll be like the day after this comes out. It'll come out the 18th.
Apparently, it leaked online already.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll watch this weekend. Maybe I'll make it a little birthday present for myself. I don't know why I'm so angry, but you know what? It's kind of a good podcast for anger. There's a lot to be angry about.
That's true. There's quite a bit actually.
There's a lot to be salty about, but I'm gonna try to rein it in a little bit. I'm gonna I'm just gonna open up like a little hole, and then when you put tape on a balloon and then you like put a pin in it and then it's like slowly deflates. That's how I'm dealing with my anger this week.
Okay.
So welcome back everybody to the Rage Select Podcast right here on Rage Select. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
And yes, we have a podcast full of so many things. I think it's because it's getting hot outside. I think it's because
that's easily
Texas summer is almost here and I'm just like, no.
I woke up. It's funny though because it will still be cold in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, yes.
I woke up and it was like 55 degrees.
Yep. And now it's like 80, 90 outside.
Exactly. So I had to turn my AC back on.
Yeah.
At like 1 or something like that.
Yep.
So it's like it's 75 outside. It's like, oh, fun.
Fucking Texas. Also, it doesn't help that it's just
pollen everywhere.
Pollen is
I
everywhere.
Can't fucking breathe.
Everything is covered in pollen in Texas. But you know what? This is old man talk. This is like, we're neighbors and I'm just fucking waxing the
How about that weather
the
today,
Nissan Sentra talking about like, man, I hope that pollen goes away. It's going to be a scorcher today.
Is it, Phil? Is it?
Let's talk about some nerdy shit.
Yes. Sure.
I haven't seen the Batman. I haven't seen the Sonic. I haven't seen any of that shit that anybody's talking about. I last week went and watched a season and a half of Star Trek Lower Decks.
That's right.
Instead. And you know what? People kept telling me like that show is real good. People kept saying online like that show's really good. And like, you got to know what you're getting into. Like, it is a comedy.
Oh, 100%.
So like, if you're like, man, I really wish that there was some more TNG, and people are like, well, this show takes place in the TNG era, don't watch it if you're just like looking for drama. It's like jokes. Like one of the episodes, like the new security guy is one of the guys from the Darmok and Jalad episode, and he speaks regularly, but then every time he'll be like, it's like Rena and Forstetter like in the pit, and people are like, oh, bad, and he's like, yeah, bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a show like that. It's like goofy and it's kind of got gags, but I like it. I was telling you yesterday that I like it because I feel like it's not trying to be Rick and Morty, and it's not trying to be like fucking Family Guy or Paradise PD or one of those dumb shows.
Because they have plots still. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not trying to be mean.
Yes,
it's celebrating the absurdity that is Star Trek.
Yeah,
that people like take with the most serious face imaginable, and I think that's one of the reasons that show works as well as it does for a lot of people.
Yeah. It put me off. The very first episode put me off a little bit because one of the main characters is kind of a stick in the mud, and then the other character is kind of Rick and Morty-ish. It's kind of like, what if you had a character that just kind of got off on the really like the adventure missions in Star Trek, and like that's all they wanted to do. They don't want to explore. They just want to get in like fucking fights with Cardassians and like drink with the Klingons and just like jump into a time portal and go to Gangster World or whatever. And like that's what they're there for. They don't want to do any of the rest of the Starfleet bullshit, but only on the spaceships is the place where you can go and find all the action and stuff.
Okay.
And that character, like, I don't know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way like the first time I tried to watch that show, but it definitely gets better from there.
It's probably like a pilot thing. A lot of times they're just like, this is their character, and they're trying to get that across as hard as they can.
I think it starts with like the stick in the mud character who wants to be like an officer, like doing his own personal like log entry, and then it's like, oh, in the bar everybody's got that drunk disease from that one episode, and they're all just like fucking and stuff, and I'm just like, is this going to be Rick and Morty? Because I got burned by Rick and Morty in the last season.
That's true.
I don't know if I want to do that, but it's been really good so far.
That's good. And it's 2 seasons.
Yeah.
At the moment. Did you watch both? You said 1.5, right? So
I haven't finished the second season. I'm like halfway through the second season. Really good. Well animated. I mean, the other thing is I don't know why so many shows. I don't know why that show is drawn like Rick and Morty, even though it's not Rick and Morty. Like the way that the faces are constructed with the eyeballs.
I'm sure it's the character, whoever designed it. It's probably like the guy, one of the guys who works on that show.
Outside of like the little star pupils that they have in Rick and Morty, it's like they just put regular, but it's very similar. And I feel like a lot of animated shows, I think that this kind of happened with American or with Family Guy as well, where it was like once you have a really successful animated show, everybody kind of starts to ape that style. Sort of.
No, yeah, that's I brought up people wanted to be like Archer. There's stuff on like Netflix that you can look at that the thumbnail very much looks like they're trying to be Archer-like looking.
Yes.
And you're like, well, that's not why that show works. and it shows when you watch the whatever. I don't even remember the name of it. It was some sort of Miami thing or something. It was on Netflix for a while.
I know what you're talking about.
And it was so bad.
Yeah.
Because I tried. It tricked me. Like, it could maybe be a fun show. No, it's not. It's terrible.
The only show to watch that looks like Archer is Frisky Dingo. Everybody knows that.
And but it's the same guy, so it works fine. There's so many references to Frisky Dingo and Archer if you really pay attention to it. And I'm so happy about that.
But yeah, no, that was good. Also, I gotta say, like, okay, I feel like a lot of times when we do this little intro part, so I can put something in the thumbnail and I don't feel like a fucking liar. Like I'm just gonna put like a fucking
dirty liar.
I'm just gonna put tits in the thumbnail and just be like,
you wouldn't believe what kind of tits they have on the Star Trek Enterprise.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I feel like a lot of times I'll talk about like a show that I watched on Netflix or a show that I watched on Hulu or Paramount or one of those things. And it's like, this is good, but it's not a reason to go like sign up for this. I honestly think that a lot of people do not have Apple TV. And I really do think that it's worth signing up for Apple TV. I mean, like I just finished Severance. It was fucking amazing. Ted Lasso season 1, season 2, not quite as good. Depends on who
you ask, apparently. Yeah.
Season 1 of Ted Lasso, though, fucking great. That's what I need to watch. That's what I need to watch to get out of this fucking anger spiral that I'm in.
It's Ted Lasso.
If anything can drag me out of the anger and back into the good feelings, it's fucking Theodore Lasso.
I could see that.
Just I have to avoid Led Tasso because that guy, he's too hard.
He's a weirdo.
He's too hardcore. But like, no, you got that. You got For All Mankind, which is really good.
Really
like.
Good. Apparently,
Schmigadoon, that was really weird.
Yeah, Schmigadoon's a lot of fun. Central Park is the show that the guy who made Bob's Burgers. It's his exclusive Apple TV show.
And I haven't even watched. There's the one with Jennifer Aniston, the morning show one.
I hear really good things about that one.
And then the Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, Everybody's Blind Samurai show. Like,
and of course, Mythic Quest.
Oh, Mythic Quest.
Mythic Quest, yeah.
I was a little cool. And the thing is that I felt like I was like, Mythic Quest is okay, and then they had the non-comedy episode of Mythic Quest season 1, and I was like, oh, I would watch this show. I don't care about that other show anymore.
Okay.
I would watch this show. I never watched Mythic Quest season 2, but yeah, Apple TV has a lot of good stuff. Slow Horses is also really good. It's
I have no idea what that is.
It's like when you're a bad spy in Britain, they send you to the shitty rundown office building that Fat Gary Oldman runs, where all the bad spies go.
Oh.
And it's very serious. It's not like a comedy or anything, but it's like I watched a few episodes of it and I had the itch. And so it isn't exactly the same, but I went back and like watched the first few episodes of Luther. It reminded me of that, of just very gritty London procedural, but it's more spies and less cops. But yeah, Apple TV is like consistently one of the better. I open it up more than Hulu or HBO or.
It's one of the more solid many because there's a billion streaming things like now.
Yeah,
we have the cable problem again.
Yep.
Because
we just did that. We just left cable and now we're back to cable. Yeah, time is a flat circle.
That's really what happened. Yeah, because like Paramount Plus has some decent stuff on it. And it's got all the Star Trek stuff on it.
Yep.
It's got some great old Comedy Central shows on it. It's got that Reno 911 Q movie that's really funny. Okay. There's a lot of South Park stuff on it. But then you get stuff like Peacock, where you're like, what's on Peacock? It's like, well, it's got all the Psych movies and Psych, but that's like all I can say.
What is
or
that?
If you like The Office, I guess.
No, what is that? God, okay. Fuck. He's got a burger place. He's a celebrity. He's got a burger place. Wahlberg.
Oh,
there's that horrible Mark Wahlberg movie.
Is that on there?
Infinite or something like that. That's on there. That I've just never heard anybody say anything but bad stuff about.
Oh,
so,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that is a thing that exists.
But yeah, I think Apple TV consistently is delivering. Like, I don't know. I think it's just the fact that Apple has such deep pockets that they can just fucking throw away money.
They've done a really good job.
They're kind of like the Game Pass of streaming services, where it's like the stuff there is of a really high quality.
Yeah, because they had Tragedy of Macbeth on there.
Yes,
which is also it was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
of last year, technically, since it was in theaters in December for a bit.
That's true,
but real good.
Well, before we get to it, Michael, how about you? Did you see anything good you want to talk about?
Well, I talked about a little bit about this on Patreon, but I've been watching the second chunk of Tiger and Bunny, because Tiger and Bunny came back finally after a very, very, very long time.
Still no JoJo's.
Still no JoJo's at the moment, which is supposed to come back in December? ?
Yeah,
but yeah, Tiger and Bunny was a show that I watched in my early 20s. I had stopped watching anime altogether for a little bit, for about 4 years actually, because I remember the day I was at an anime convention, and I'm like, I don't like any of these people. And I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Are you talking about the shows or the people that were at the convention?
It was mostly
both.
It was well, it's because what happened was it was the age of like where a lot of people were really into high school comedy things or whatever. Like K-On! Was really big at this point. And I had a lot of friends that were like, K-On!, the little teenagers with the band. And I was like, I don't want these.
No!
or Italia was the other one.
Yeah.
Where it was like a bunch of like countries represented by Moe people.
Oh, God.
And everybody really loved that at the time.
Nope.
And it's that meme that people had of Arrested Development. It's like, you're welcome to our animes. And it was a bunch of shit like that. And I'm like, I don't want these.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to do it. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I stopped watching anime, like outright.
Yeah.
Even my Dragon Ball stuff had been limited immensely because at that point all the Dragon Ball games were terrible. This was the dark ages of the Dragon Ball Z Connect time frame. And I was like, I don't want to watch anime anymore. So I stopped watching anime. And then one day Tiger and Bunny came out, and all my friends knew how much I love superheroes, and they're like, you should watch the show. And I was like, I don't want to watch anime anymore. And then one day I didn't have a car at this point. They forced me, when we were hanging out, to sit down and watch the first 3 episodes of the show.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I get it. I fell in love with the show because, one, it wasn't about teenagers for the first time.
Sure.
In my time, because a lot of animes are about teenagers, but Tiger and Bunny is about like a 30-year-old superhero, and he was being partnered with a 20-year-old superhero.
Right.
And he's like, this is kind of annoying in the beginning, at least. And then I loved all the characters, and it had all this interesting stuff going on in it. And so it ended at like a 25 episode run originally. And then
did it resolve, or was it like a cliffhanger?
It was kind of like a cliffhanger. It resolved the main plot they had in their thing, because the main plot is that a new superhero who doesn't want to even have a superhero name. He just goes by his name Barnaby. He's basically like Batman. His parents were murdered when he was young. He wants the world to know that he's a superhero, so he can basically taunt whoever murdered his parents to come find him. Okay. And kind of thing. And so he's partnered up with Wild Tiger, which is the hero in the beginning of the show, because they have the exact same power set. Yep. Which is what it is that they become stronger for 5 minutes. Like for 5 minutes, they have like they have fast speed, resilience, all that shit. And so, and then he calls him Bunny because his suit reminds him of a bunny. At first it's a joke, and then it becomes like this whole thing. And then as the show progresses, you find out who killed Barnaby's parents. They defeat the guy, and that's how the show ends. Is originally as that, but there's a thing called the Ouroboros, which is that thing with the snake that's eating itself. Yeah. There's a symbol of that, and then like the end of the show, originally it shows that like, well, that's organization's still out there, so we have no idea, kind of thing, like what happens.
Sure.
And then there's this large gap for many years. For years, they made like 2 movies. The second movie was made years, like so long ago, I don't even remember how far back it was. But that didn't resolve anything either. It just it added another hero, and it played with the fact that Tiger can only do it like his power for a minute, which is how the show ended. And then it ends in a way that's like, well, we can keep going. It's like, cool. And then nothing happened for like what feels like a decade.
And then Netflix was like, we're just sloshing money around. Yeah. Give it a shot.
They announced this thing like 3 years ago, if not longer than that. And I was super excited because I love Tiger and Bunny. And so it's finally out. You messaged me because I'd forgot that it was coming out. And then that was my whole fucking time is watching that.
I was about on Thursday. I always just like start looking at streaming services like, what is it this week? Come on. I'm really bored.
It's really good. The new seasons, the plot of this one is more that they decided when Tiger and Bunny did really well as a duo, because they were the first duo heroes, they decided to start pairing the other heroes together in like a buddy system. And so it's that they introduced 2 new heroes. One of them, his name is just He Is Thomas for some reason. Is his name.
Okay.
I forgot the other guy's name off the top of my head. I think he's just called Black is a superhero name. And it's really good. The main thread of this show so far involves a new friend or an old friend of Barnaby's coming into his life, who's trying to figure out some sort of special drug that's going to help make people more like have superpowers. And then the other thing is there's 2 like guys who have the Otoboda symbol on their hands who are just like utterly destroying superheroes across the country.
Okay.
And so they're the 2 main like big bads for the show.
Okay.
But I really highly recommend it. 100%. It was like I said, it was the best superhero anime until My Hero came along. And especially if you like the idea of watching a show that doesn't just involve a bunch of teenagers doing festivals and shit again. So yeah.
Well, there is that. I mean, I don't know. If you're watching anime and you're like, I don't like it when teenagers go to festivals, that's on you, man.
It is. It is at that point. Like I said, I stopped watching it because I used to have to deal with a lot of animes like that.
Well, speaking of anime bullshit,
teenagers and such.
Teenagers doing stuff, the power of friendship, etc. Take your pick. I thought we had more time. I thought we had more time before we had to deal with a new fucking Kingdom Hearts cycle.
I didn't know they were going to make more Kingdom Hearts.
I didn't. I thought the 3rd one wrapped it up.
I thought that I never found out. So no one I knew who even liked Kingdom Hearts said it was a good ending.
Yeah. So there's a new Kingdom Hearts, everybody. Kingdom Hearts 4. Apparently it's like a reverse isekai thing or something where like Sora's now just like in a really nice like office, like a really nice apartment building.
Yeah, and he's got normal fucking shoes.
He's got normal fucking feet sizes, and like I don't know what happened at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and please don't tell me.
I don't know.
Like,
why would he looking at me?
Well, you were the only person here who would know. I certainly wouldn't.
I certainly don't know. I never
gave
finished
you
it.
my copy.
Yeah, and I played it for like 4 hours and gave up.
They're using like the whole thing is just like super realistic now. Like it's all super high fidelity. And like we kind of have this thing where Sora wakes up like in what looks like just like a modern apartment, and he looks like almost like a real person, not quite, still anime, but not like quite as anime. As you mentioned, his feet are regular size. His little girlfriend shows up. Apparently this character is from previous Kingdom Hearts and like died or something.
I guess
they got this stupid name. It's like let's see if I can figure out the name of this person. Guys, this stuff just like it falls off of my brain. Like as soon as it goes onto my brain, it's just like whoosh, it's gone.
All I'm saying is good for you Kingdom Hearts peoples, because none of this shit makes any sense to me.
Strelitzia. Gee, how could I have forgotten that?
It's the stupidest thing ever.
Strelitzia is this little fucking girl, and then they like this is Quadratum. It's like the modern day, and so the whole thing. Okay. We're going to get to a little bit of speculation in a minute, but like Donald and Goofy are at the end of this fucking trailer. So are we going to be seeing a thing where like a fucking Honda Accord is just like realistically rendered like it's in Gran Turismo on the streets of Tokyo like they're in the Yakuza games, and then fucking Donald Duck just walks into the middle of this? Like, say what you will about the way that Sora looked before, but he looked like he belonged in the world of Disney. I cannot see, like, there are regular ass people.
They're super regular ass people.
They're regular ass people.
Going to work and shit.
There's like a beauty clinic. There's a waffle joint back in the background of this scene that we're looking at right now. Yeah. Like, how the fuck is Goofy gonna come out? Like, speaking of Goofy, at the end of this trailer, a big Heartless shows up. And it already looks goofy as shit. Like,
yeah, it already looks like it doesn't belong in this world.
Yeah. It's like it looks weird, and like they show some of the Organization 13 guys with their dumb hoodies that look like they don't look like they belong in this world anymore.
No.
It's a really weird thing. It's kind of like if you had told me, Michael, if you had told me that what we are looking at right now was somebody took the Unreal 5 City demo and then imported like a Sora.
Oh.
And they made like an Elden Ring Sora cosplay and imported it into Unreal Engine 5 and made a fake trailer, I would believe you. That would make more sense than what I'm looking at right now.
No, it does. Or if you just showed me this sequence and just said it was part of a Bayonetta, I probably would also believe you.
Yeah, well, except for the fact that the Heartless guy still looks like a fucking Disney thing.
Yeah, well, other than that, yeah.
But like, I don't like. Okay, like, okay. Sorry. Okay, Sora's face is like closer to Sora, the anime character. The people on the street with their cell phones are proportioned like a human.
They're normal ass people.
Like if you saw a person in the world with anime features, you would be like, real monsters. Like you would be like,
yeah, no, that's fair.
What happened? Do you need me to call somebody? Son, what happened to you? Did you come here from another world?
Is that a mask? what is going on with your face?
I don't know how you reconcile the fact, like, okay, listen, I'm going to say right now, like, if they made it so the whole thing was very realistic looking, like, if Sora was very, very, very realistic looking, that would be one thing, but Sora looks different than the people, and then the Heartless and the buildings don't look the same, and, like, but then there's this part where Sora, like, goes through this, like, hallway, and it looks really fake. It looks like an Unreal 3 tech demo. I don't know.
Well, this is clearly like I know it wants to look like gameplay footage, but this is some rendered ass shit.
They put some fucking menus up on the screen like this is for realzos.
Yeah, this is what the game's gonna look like. No, it's not.
But like,
there's literally no way it's gonna look exactly like this.
But like, okay, so look at this Organization 13 looking motherfuckers. They still look like they're from the other game. They don't look like they have. Their zippers are too wide for reality.
They're pretty big zippers.
Like, and they've got like dark fucking Nazgul faces. Like they don't have any. That's not how shadows work in the real world. If you're in the cartoon world, it's fine. But like, okay. Anyway,
no, it's fair.
It's also and this is gonna bug the shit out of me, and I'm very sorry, everybody. But like they made the Kingdom Hearts 4 logo. It looks exactly like Kingdom Hearts 3, except they put a little V at the bottom of the second two I's in I. Like, usually when you write a V, it's like an angle down and an angle up. Whereas here, it is two straight lines that at the very bottom connect together into a little V.
Honestly, I'm glad they did that because after Call of Duty Black Ops 4, just having 4 lines... Yeah, I'm cool with this.
I feel like I could look at this and like I would have to look at it to know whether I was looking at the logo for 3 or the logo for 4. Like
that's fair.
Because it looks like, now it's a logo for 3. Now it's a logo for 4. I can just put my hand over.
I wonder how they're going to force Hercules into this like they did all the other games.
Is Hercules going to be in here with like Unreal Engine 5 pores? Is he going to look like a person, but he's going to have the weird? Is it going to be like
get Kevin Sorbo and put him in it?
You know that picture of like the realistically rendered Homer Simpson where he's got like all the giant eyeballs and stuff? Is it going to look like that? Like, because Goofy and Donald, they look like Goofy and Donald, and they've got like nice Unreal lighting and all that shit. So is like Hercules going to show up and like it's just a very strange decision. I don't understand. I mean, maybe if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you get everything that's going on. And I'll say, like, obviously, whoever made this, it's good high fidelity. It looks good. Like,
yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine, but I don't know. I don't give a fuck about Kingdom Hearts anymore. Yeah, it's been so long since I ever cared about Kingdom Hearts, and that was like 6 games ago. There's so many little games in between that are like, I don't care about this anymore.
Well, the thing is that this was part of the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary, and this was the last thing they announced. They started by announcing the last episode of that fucking weird phone game where everybody looks like a weird paper cutout, and then like they showed this trailer where these little paper dolls are like really dramatically talking to each other about fate and shit. And then they announced a second. That's like the last episode. Like this was an episodic thing, and the final episode is coming out. And then they also announced a 3D game that you're going to play on the phone. that it looks like you're going to create a character, and like they showed some action for it, which appears like you're going to have a you're going to have like you're going to throw out little statues of like Disney characters that'll do different attacks, and it's all in like this one big city.
Okay.
And it's like another phone game that's coming out. So like I just feel like it's like, hey, Kingdom Hearts, can you just put out like one game every 3 years and not like 18 games every fucking 6 months? Like,
the issue is that all the games connect in some stupid fucking way every fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the phone game where it's just, it might as well be a dating sim. Or like, for all I know, this is a real thing where they make like a game that, and it could just be a dating sim. They're like, yeah, but unless you play it, you won't understand why Sora, isn't like fucking hanging out with Donald or Goofy in some way. It's like every fucking time.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like it could be the most tiny fucking thing in the world, but there's one part of it that's canon, so you have to play that shit to understand what's going on. Like the 3D, like,
oh man, I can
the Game Boy Advance game was the first time they did that. I forget the name of it, but they came out with that, and they remade it for PS2 because no one had a fucking Game Boy Advance to play it.
Right.
And then they're like, well, you have to play it now. It's like, I don't fucking care.
Man, I can feel the downvotes right now, Michael.
Well, it's the issue is I just want a game where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever.
Right.
And if you make side things, that you don't have to play them in any way.
Optional.
Kind of like the Ghost of Sparta game.
You don't have to play Assassin's Creed Rogue to understand what's happening in Black Flag. Like,
yeah, you don't have to play Rogue to really understand what's going on in fucking 3 or what was the Unity.
Right.
Even though it had some stuff in it that could help you be like, I kind of understand.
Or
stuff now.
the PSP game with the lady, like you didn't have to play that one to get what was going on.
You don't have to play the PSP Uncharted game to understand 1 through 4.
Right.
Like it's just you don't need to do that over.
I mean, like, hey, I gotta applaud Square Enix, man. They've got this audience that is just fucking into it. Like they're into this shit.
Like I'm glad there's now ways of playing all of those games in one like console.
Yeah.
But there just wasn't before, and it just felt kind of shitty to do that to people.
It's also just a lot of games to play if you're coming to it for the first time. Like,
yeah, the fact that they can't just make their remakes just 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
they have to be like 1 point something something squared to times infinity. It's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Rebirth of Feathertown.
Just insane shit.
Yeah. Anywho, so okay. But we're not done just yet because, of course, the internet fucking poured over this thing in like crazy amounts of detail. So, one of the things we found out was that this trailer was made in Unreal Engine 4, but I kept mentioning Unreal Engine 5, and this is going to be made in Unreal Engine 5, which I really hope that this means, I really hope for Kingdom Hearts fans that this means that this game will not take 9 years to make.
That all depends on fucking Nomura, probably. That dumb motherfucker.
Probably. Sora almost looks regular in that shot.
But there's something off about him that freaks me the fuck out.
It's the eyeballs. His eyeballs are too big. I know.
See that, yeah.
I've gone through enough character sliders in my time to be like, his eyes are too far apart and too big because they're animu.
He got the anime eye surgery.
Yeah. He's using the anime filter in Snapchat.
Yes, that's exactly what it is at all times.
Yeah. Not just that, but there was a single frame. Did you catch this, Michael? During this part, there's a part where they show like the forest, like in the very beginning. They show like the forest. They show like a waterfall.
Yeah.
And here, it's only because of 1080p. I was gonna 4K. Yeah. So people looked at this, and they think that what they're looking at is an ATST foot, indicating that Star Wars will now be part of Kingdom Hearts.
That's a hell of a stretch looking at that, but I can't blame them for thinking it, though.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay, all right. That's a little bit of a stretch. Do you need something crazier than that?
Yeah.
Do you need something a little crazier than that? Okay,
I kind of do to see what the internet's up to.
Okay, so the internet went on Google Maps and found...
They did what?
Found the actual real-world apartment that is the place where Sora is, because Sora goes out to the balcony and he looks out over like to Tokyo, and so they found like where you would look out and see the skyline, and they tracked it back to this swanky apartment building in downtown Tokyo.
Oh my god.
called Regno Raffine that's literally like, you know, a fucking building and has like, you could look at like the internal layout of some of the apartments and shit. Yeah. And they think that like, if you look, you can see details from like the model unit. I don't really see it, but you know, I'm not obsessively looking at this shit and I don't care.
No,
so
I think I'm good.
Yeah. So,
but if you too want to live like Sora in a random ass trailer, you could do it. Apparently,
he's not even going to live there. He's going to go back. He's going to go live in a shack or a gummy ship or something.
He doesn't live there. That's not his house. He broke into somebody's house, and lost his shoes.
You know what the implication of Star Wars is, right? Lightsaber Keyblade.
Oh.
Lightsaber Keyblade.
Sorry, when you say the implication, that's never my first. My first thought is never what you're actually talking about.
About the implication.
It's about the implication.
That's right.
And I was trying to figure out how that involves Sora originally, and now I'm kind of grossed out that that was my first thought.
Yeah. So
he's like, "Hey, lady, you know, there's a Heartless out there. Where am I gonna go?"
I just okay. So here's the thing. Here's what I would really like. I would like to be positive. I'd like to put silly Jeff being a shit to the side for a second. Okay,
yeah.
I know that's everybody's favorite Jeff, but sometimes, you know, I hope that this is like a soft reboot or an onboarding part that like. That they don't have to ignore the past, right? But if they're shifting this far, if we've got this...
Well, you want it to be God of War, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
God of War, PS4...
Yes.
Either you don't have to play a 1 through 3 at all to really enjoy that series.
Right, where they could just like reference stuff that happened in the past, but this is like a good onboarding part, and then like use the fact that it looks more realistic to make it less of a fucking baby game where you like summon the... light train from the Disney theme park to do an attack on a silly guy.
Oh, that's going to happen.
Like, I don't know. I mean, we know that Goofy and Donald are going to be in there, so they're probably going to have some of the animated stuff. Or do you think that because it's possible that if they did like Star Wars and Pirates of the Caribbean and like the more, I know they've already done Pirates, but if they did more of the light, I mean, like you could do you could do this would be really weird. I don't think it will happen at all. But you could do like a Tron level that looks like the actual Tron, not like a cartoon version of Tron, but like
a realistic
version of Tron, or like some of the other.
I know Tron was in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Bring in the Witch Mountain with the Rock.
Oh, the Rock of Witch Mountain? Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
I mean, I guess the thing is that you could do a lot of live action stuff that Disney has.
Basically, just do all the live action movies.
Yeah,
just to fuck with people.
Well, because then the question
just
becomes
have Emma Stone and Angelina Jolie.
Would it be weird if Sora went from this world back to the animated worlds and then back to this world? Like, would there be a weird kind of dissonance that you would build up by like switching between these two environments?
People were already weirded out by that with the Pirates of the Caribbean one to begin with.
Oh, that's true.
Like, I remember one of the tweets about this was like, "Hey guys, you remember how weirded out you were about the Pirates of the Caribbean level? What if we just did a whole game like that?"
Yeah. Star Wars also the indication that Square Enix is able to make a deal to put Star Wars in a Kingdom Hearts game means that, I don't know, man. Maybe there's fucking Marvel characters in here too.
It's possible. That's a very good possibility. I'm wondering, because this is a thing that this was a criticism they had a lot of about 3, is there wasn't really any Final Fantasy characters in 3.
Yeah,
like there were in all the other games.
Really?
So I wonder if they'll be able to really use those guys again.
Is it that they've just segued the Final Fantasy characters into quote unquote Kingdom Hearts characters?
They just sort of disappeared.
Yeah.
They just didn't show up in 3 at all. Like, because they were very like not important, but they were very like front and center in 1 and 2. At least the one I played, because I didn't play any of the other ones.
Sure.
Because there was always like a Sephiroth boss battle that everyone would end up doing.
Right.
And there was nothing like that in 3.
Interesting.
Like Cloud never showed up, as far as I know. Like I said, I didn't get very far, but I kept hearing that they just weren't in the game. So
maybe if you've got this like super realistic thing, it's like, oh, now the Final Fantasy characters are like Lightning and Noctis and like the new like more realistic looking Final Fantasy characters.
That would be interesting.
I guess they could take Cloud from the 7 remake. I mean, it is Nomura, right? So
that's true.
You could just drag that shit in. It'll be strange to see where this goes. I don't trust Square Enix as far as I can throw them. Oh yeah, the last thing was, as you mentioned before, Sora's feet are small, and everybody's mad about it.
Well, I think part of it comes down to the fact that apparently the shoes are owned by Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was because I was looking into the Smash Brothers thing. Why he wasn't in Smash Brothers for so long, and I found out that specific aspects of Sora's designs are owned by Disney, but not the entire thing. Only specific parts of it, which is why it was so difficult to get him to Smash Brothers to begin with.
That's some weird shit that you just said right there.
Yeah, so the Keyblade is Disney, his shoes are Disney.
What?
But his outfit is like Square Enix.
Oh, of course it is.
Because yeah, exactly, because it's a Final Fantasy look.
Right.
But since the shoes are Mickey Mouse related looking, they're considered Disney property, and the same with the Keyblade and the Mickey Mouse keychain at the end of it.
My brain.
Right?
Ouch,
it's
my brain.
fucking insane.
Ow, my fucking brain. I can't handle that shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, when I found that out, I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay.
That's a real thing, guys. Look
right.
it up.
Yep. But does this mean that his feet were that small the entire time?
Maybe.
And he was just wearing these giant shoes? No wonder he can run like a person. He was...
I feel like we've seen him without shoes before, but life of me, I couldn't really point it out to you.
I'm not Quentin Tarantino, all right?
No.
I don't pay attention.
I don't memorize these things, guys.
Apparently, that's another thing due to what Miyazaki and Elden Ring is like, has a feet thing. And they told him that, like, well, you can't have Melania not have any shoes on. And so he gave her, like, metal shoes that have metal toes, like
is
those
that
toe
why it looks
shoes.
like that?
Yes, I
that
don't.
a
A
real
lot of
thing?
people are into feet, man. I don't get
It's
it
true.
myself.
A lot of people are really
like,
into feet.
I mean, feet are fine. I'm not like against feet, but I'm not like pro feet. I'm like neutral feet. You know, true neutral.
They love Sideshow Bob.
Speaking of characters from certain things going into certain other things that they shouldn't be in.
That sounds gross.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Also, I just stacked up the beginning of this with characters that I don't give a shit about.
That's true.
Sonic the Hedgehog is coming to Roblox?
I figured he was already there, technically.
Oh, he technically already is.
Yeah.
Like,
the internet would have done that for him.
It's like the equivalent of that guy that made that Elden Ring Sonic. It's like a big Roblox Sonic.
Yeah. And he's got a gun, probably.
Yeah, probably. So Sega and GameFam are teaming up to put an actual licensed Sonic the Hedgehog game into the Roblox platform. This will be out by the time you hear this podcast. It's called Sonic Speed Simulator, and it's on Roblox, and it's free.
Ooh.
It's an open world online multiplayer game where you get to play as your Roblox avatar or Sonic, and then you get to collect some stuff. It doesn't seem like a full on like game,
No.
like more of like an open world with some kind of fun stuff to do in
Just
it.
something to fuck with, basically.
Yeah. Also, you can get Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles that actually look like them. They aren't Roblox characters.
That's interesting.
And then there's like a screenshot here from the big open world. I think this is supposed to also be like a tie-in for the Sonic movie.
Most likely, yeah. Which explains why it's only those three specific characters.
Yeah. And it looks like you can collect, like, there's cats and emeralds, and there's like a little green hill zone. It looks very nice.
There's Chow.
What is Chow?
They're these little like blue dudes that you in the Sonic Adventure 2 you would like raise them almost like chia pets. Not chia pets, but like they're like, it's like a pet simulator kind of thing.
Okay.
And they're just these little dudes that are blue.
Are they emeralds? Is there one called Chow S Merlds?
No, well, the boss in the first one, and the first Sonic Adventure was like a Chow that was like water based and like became evil or went crazy or something like that.
Okay.
So he was called Chowis or Chaos or whatever. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, anyway, all this shit is there.
They mostly live around the emeralds though.
Like there's actually a thing where they said there's a quote from one of the folks who said, I think people have a lot of notions about what Roblox is and what Roblox is and isn't. If people are Sonic fans, we want them to come in and try this game, even if they've never tried Roblox. And that is the reason that I put this on the podcast, because Roblox is fucking evil.
They're crazy.
And you should not go play Roblox no matter how much you want to play a Sonic game. I know that Sonic fans are a lot like Kingdom Hearts fans where they just got to have it all. They got to collect them all. But like Roblox is some evil child manipulative bullshit. Like
it's a weird fucking place.
Yeah.
Because not only is it doing that, there's a lot of like weird music shit going on in there too.
Did you know that like if you make a level in Roblox and you sell it and then you sell it for real money to other people, that the Roblox takes 75% of the profits?
Really?
Yeah. Like, and what's left, you have to get up to like $1,000 in order to cash it out of the Roblox system. And like, this is mostly kids that are doing this.
For the most part, yeah.
You know, nobody we know is fucking. Do you have a Roblox account, Michael?
I don't, but the YouTubers have a lot of them apparently.
Yeah,
I know Donkey has one.
I don't, and I think that a lot of this stuff just really, it's kind of like Minecraft. It really. It's really engaging to younger players, especially the idea that they can go on and do whatever they want and program their own thing.
Did you hear a lot of music artists are getting found on accident because of Roblox?
No.
So there's like musicians that are like, they're like small indie guys who make music, and then somebody uploads it to Roblox, and all these kids find them, and then they become like all of a sudden popular because of it.
The thing is that it's
weird. Roblox is a weird fucking place, guys.
I really just want to emphasize that, like, for what I'm talking about, that like
it's the chows.
I just think that I think it's worth making sure that everybody's aware of the fact that Roblox is a thing and it's big.
It's massive.
And it's getting bigger all the fucking time.
I thought it was a joke when I first found out what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is just because isn't Roblox like an actual thing that you can buy or something?
Yes, it's like a Lego ripoff. That's why they look like the minifigs from Lego.
Which is why I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's just some stupid thing.
Right.
It's like Club Penguin where people like make accounts on it for shits and giggles, not realizing, no, it's actually a really popular fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, like you said, it's becoming even more popular.
Especially because they're basically, see, here's the problem that I have. They don't seem like they're paying enough attention to the fact that what they developed is a vehicle for child labor, because children are making games and then they're able to monetize those games to sell to each other and spend real world money on it. And I'm like, guys, this has a huge potential for abuse. Like,
oh, it already is being abused.
And it already is being abused.
Like you said, the music thing is a huge fucking issue.
Yeah.
Because there are people keep uploading copyrighted music and fucking up a bunch of shit for a lot of people.
Yeah. So, like, I just wanted to say this because I feel like ever since I found out, like, the shit that's going on in Roblox, the more I'm just like, man, we all got to keep an eye on this Roblox shit, right? Like,
we really should.
Fucking before a really, really bad story comes out from Roblox, like, ahead of time.
It's bound to happen. I don't know what specifically it'll be, but there's going to be something that will happen because of Roblox.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
But you know what, Michael? This isn't actually the only bad. This isn't the only bad Sonic story for this week. I have another bad Sonic story.
I'm curious what that means.
So in January, there was an interview that was given from like some of the producers and directors over at Sega, and it wasn't really translated until very recently. It was posted last month. I'm sorry, it was posted in March, but it was translated this month, and it talks about Sega's quote-unquote super game initiative. Now, actually, I'd take it back. This might not be quite as bad as the Roblox thing. So a lot of people weren't entirely sure what this is, because it's like they're putting in, what was it? It was like, I don't know, it's like a 5-year plan with several $1 million, like a lot of money. And nobody was entirely sure what it was exactly. Like, but what it appears to be is that Sega wants to make like several. What is the list? It's like they want them to be AAA titles that cross over Sega's comprehensive range of technologies as part of a 5-year plan, where you have like things that go between the different games. Now, part of this interview, I'm sure you all guys, everybody hears the like items that go between different platforms, and your brain is like, oh shit, yeah. I know what Jeff's about to say next. It appears that as part of this interview, they asked Sega about blockchain and NFTs, and they said Gaming has a history of expansion through the connection of various cultures and technologies. For example, social networking and game video viewing are recent examples. It is a natural extension for the future of gaming that it will expand to involve new areas such as cloud gaming and NFTs. We are also developing Super Game from the perspective of how far different games can be connected to each other. This is, of course, this is not like we are doing this with NFTs. I think that like that idea is not an idea. Like, I think that what happened here, or what's happening here, is that Sega was like, we'd love to do this thing where we intersect a whole bunch of our games, because they love to do that. Capcom.
Yeah, they love shit like that.
Capcom, all the shit that Capcom's put into Monster Hunter, right? Like, you know, they love that shit. Or the fucking Castlevania stuff in Konami games or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, Japanese companies love to tie their different little things together and give stuff away as little prizes. And so they probably had the idea to create several games that had some kind of progression thing where it's like, oh, well, did you play this other game? Well, then you're going to get bonus stuff in this game. And then, like, at a certain point, somebody was like, well, you know, there's a thing that you can do that with called NFTs that, like, is super big on the internet right now. And they're considering it. They haven't said anything else about it yet. So the thing is that, obviously, the fucking secret of NFTs is that you could do all this without NFTs or the blockchain. Yeah. There's no reason that you have to use the blockchain for this technology. You could totally just make your own server that keeps track of stuff, and then you don't have to have people like buying into this bullshit pyramid scheme. Whether or not they've shut up because they are quietly scrapping NFT plans because they've seen what happens when people buy into this.
Not only that, NFTs have gotten horribly wrong for a lot of places recently.
Yep.
Did you hear about that one guy, the one that he sold?
Oh, the guy that bought the first tweet?
Yeah.
For like $2 million, and then they tried to sell it, and it was like, it went from like $3,800 to like $200 to like zero.
It was real bad. It was real bad.
Like, you wanted to get $48 million. You wanted to like parlay the first tweet from $2 million to $48 million, and it was like, I gave you five.
I give you $350.
Yeah. So we don't actually know precisely whether this is actually going to happen, but it's always worthwhile for everybody in the industry to keep an eye on when the companies say those three letters. Nice fucking tits. You got to keep an eye on them and make sure.
Keep a very heavy eye on those guys.
Yeah.
Although Sega is known for terrible decisions for very many years.
That's true. They haven't done as many bad things recently, I feel like.
That's because they haven't been making as many decisions as they used to. Well, they finally started thinking is the main thing. Because for years it was just like terrible-ass decisions after decisions. And so they were flooded with terrible Sonic games. But finally they were like, the movie thing panned out for them.
Yep.
And also, they finally decided, what if we made a Sonic game that didn't come out immediately?
What if we like
they gave it time,
paid attention
to be developed
to the games?
Yeah, exactly.
Like and made them so that they weren't bad. Yeah. So I don't know. They're still rolling. We'll keep an eye on it.
They'll bring the Dreamcast back, Jeff, as an NFT.
Don't say that. That's happened. That's remember Atari and their loot box NFTs. Everybody was like, whatever happened to anybody buy a single one of those things, or was everybody?
I hope
like
not.
Nobody that was stupid enough to buy them knew that they existed, and people that knew they existed were not stupid enough to buy them, and so it was like, yeah. I very well could have swapped that last story and this next story, because in addition to Sega and Roblox, we have a better, well, what could potentially be a better metaverse concept. You know what?
Is it POG form?
You know what? I have to say, I was researching this before we started, and it was like, metaverse is like a generic noun, right? Yeah. For like a fucking big universe where you can do a bunch of different things online, right? Yeah. But Facebook has rebranded the company to Meta, and it's like, well, wait, are you talking about like what Zuckerberg is doing, or are you talking about like a metaverse, the metaverse, that metaverse? I feel like this word is increasingly confusing to a point where it's just like...
What's the fun thing about Metaverse is that it got poisoned.
Right.
The way a lot of words do that happen on the internet.
It's a cursed word.
Yeah. It's like the word woke, when it started off as just a generic dumbass term.
Yeah.
And now is a poisoned term that means whatever the fuck you want it to.
I mean,
apparently.
like, what's that app that they put the rabbits in?
I don't even remember
that is like a metaverse. That's like an NFT
the name of it, yeah.
metaverse. I don't know. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about. I just forgot the name of it.
Anyway, so when you hear metaverse, I just want to let you know this isn't an NFT thing. It is, though, a Fortnite thing because Lego and Sony have each pumped $1 billion into Fortnite, into Epic Games and Fortnite.
Really?
Yes. Sony, you may remember, has had two previous occasions where they've basically just invested $200 million. Like on two separate occasions, they just invested $200 million into Epic.
Oh, yeah.
Like just, we like that. We think it'll be a good return. And also...
And it did, apparently.
And it also feels like Sony is kind of slowly oozing closer and closer to Epic, like that they have a really good relationship and that Sony is trying to like move more into the online direction with the Bungie acquisition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this feels like a move in that direction. What's interesting, though, is that it appears that the Lego thing is that Lego wants to team up with Epic to basically make the kind of Fortnite style hangout space, but a Lego version specifically marketed to children.
Don't want to make Roblox.
As well, yeah. I mean, I would assume. Like, I don't know if. I don't know if they're going to have the same programming stuff.
I doubt it. I wanted to make that joke because
no. I mean,
it seems like it's the exact opposite.
No. Like, but here's the thing: is that like when I look at it, I'm just like, oh, the Lego Corporation and Epic Games want to make Roblox, and I'm like, well, that sounds like two groups that would actually take like the safety of the children into consideration.
We would hope so, at least,
as opposed to just cowboy in this shit, fucking pew pew pew. You know.
Yeah, I don't think Roblox gives a fuck.
Yeah,
legitimately, I don't think they do.
So I want to announce right now that Rage Select is creating a new metaverse. We're teaming up with Capsella. It's going to be the Capsella Rage Select universe.
It's going to be called Dongalopolis.
That Dongalopolis, yep. No, wait, what was that? Erector.
Erector
Would be perfect for Rage Select. Erector plus Dongacles 2.5.
Exactly.
Alpha Centauri.
It'll be amazing, guys.
Dream of the distance.
No NFTs, by the way.
All NFTs. Everything's an NFT. And none of them cost any money. They're all free. They're NFTs, but they don't cost any money. You can't resell them ever again. I'm just going to take the concept of NFT and destroy it.
Jesus.
It's going to be like when the Joker burns down all that money in the Dark Knight. Where I'm just like,
it's about sending a message.
I'm going to buy all the NFTs and then I'm just going to fucking like delete them and be like, ha, I did it.
Done. There's no more NFTs.
But yeah, I actually think that sounds like a good idea. Epic is really good at, they've had a lot of practice with Fortnite of making a thing that people are into. And Lego, kiss noise, Lego is good at this shit.
Also, their building stuff will probably end up doing really well with that.
They
too.
also have a lot of licenses already.
Oh, right? Yeah, they already have a lot of good relationships with people. And Lego does too. So it's going to be fucking fantastic.
You think they're going to be able to use all the existing, it's going to be a little Master Chief minifig in the little for babies Lego world?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. It all depends on, it could be a console thing too.
It also seems like with what Lego Star Wars, like all the detail that they're now putting into Legos, because it's like when they jumped a generation, the new generation, it's like, well, we can't make Legos look more detailed because they're Legos. What we can do now is make it so that every light source shines off the Legos, and you can see the little scratches in the side where you dropped the Legos when you were putting them all away. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Kind of like the way the movies did.
Lego Star Wars looks really good in 4K HDR. I wish I could have captured that. So that's good. Also, I kind of look at, I mean, you know, no company is a good guy. There are no good guy companies. But like Epic is doing relatively decent work. They're trying to compete with Steam, which has made Steam do things like make a Steam Deck, which is cool.
Yeah.
They're also, you know, they're fighting Apple. I like that. Like, they funded Control. I liked that. So, like, you know, all in all, I'm kind of pro Epic.
Epic's has been such a good chaotic wild card.
Yes.
That I just can't help but be
a big player that just came out of nowhere. And they're just like, I don't know, let's see what the fuck we can fuck up in here.
Like wild card bitches. They kicked out the door and jumped out.
Well, speaking of wild cards and money acquisitions, the biggest wild card in gaming bought the stupidest thing humanly possible.
Go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Randy Pitchford.
Oh, fuck. What did he do now?
He bought the Magic Castle in Hollywood.
He did what?
He bought the Magic Castle in Hollywood. So there is
oh my God.
There is a building in Hollywood that's called the Magic Castle. It was purchased in 1909. It was like a house that was kind of like had some turrets and stuff on it. This guy bought it. He fixed it up, and it's like a social club for magicians. It's like that fucking like the club that Job and Tony Wonder meet at.
Are you serious right
But
now?
it's like Penn and Teller go there, and it's like a social club.
Oh my God.
Where you have to pay dues, and then the magicians can go there, and they can meet up, and they can talk to each other, and it's in the middle of Hollywood. I've driven past it. Like it's interesting. Now, Michael, this is going to be a shock to you, so I'm going to need you to brace yourself. But like there have been some reports that the fucking I keep wanting to say musicians, the magicians that go to the castle, like, have been like kind of racist and pretty shitty to like the bartenders and like the waitresses and stuff.
No, that sounds about right.
And that like when those people went to the management was like, shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh no, I don't want to. And they're like, okay, you're fired. I can't get the fuck out of here. Get your shit and get out of here. Anyway, this place has been struggling now for a little while because of COVID. It's like a tourist attraction, and there's also some stuff that happens there.
Yeah.
And fucking Randy goddamn Pitchford bought it. He bought the place.
That coked out magician.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. And literally there's a quote from Penn Jillette saying like,
Penn and Teller themselves.
I've known Randy Pitchford for years, and I know he has a day job, but in my mind, he's a magician. I believe Randy's heart is in magic. For as long as I've known about the Magic Castle, and it's been precarious, he goes on. And then there's a quote from Teller, which everybody is just like, what? I mean, like, Teller can talk. He's a person.
He does talk, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess in one case, it's like, hey, man, if you've got dumb amounts of money, there's less stupid things to do than buy something that you really love to keep it alive, as opposed to just fucking NFTs and Ferraris and shit.
I kind of want a new announcement where Randy Pitchford goes, guys, I've decided gaming's stupid, and I'm going to be a magician full time. And that's all he's going to do from now on.
No, but he already did that. He backed up from like being the like main producer to being like the producer of like the movies. So he's just like making the Borderlands movie and buying the Magic Castle.
No, I mean like outright. He just stops like touching any of the game stuff.
Oh, he's just a stage magician.
Just a stage magician.
Yeah.
From then on.
Well,
and he wants to only be referred to as Randy the Magnificent.
Look, man, all I can say is that we've had 2 or 3 E3s where Randy Pitchford has been like in person, like doing presentations for stuff, and I've never once seen that motherfucker do any close-up magic.
No.
Like I've watched Brian Brushwood do a lot of fucking magic, and I've never seen fucking Randy Pitchford do a card trick.
He tried. You remember?
Did he?
You remember what was one of the E3? I don't remember if it was an E3 or not, but he was like on stage, some announcement or something, and he was doing card tricks, and everyone was very uncomfortable.
Oh my God. Well,
I remember it was the whole thing. You don't remember that?
I really don't. I really don't. From there, we're not done with company acquisitions just yet, because Sony is fucking investing, Lego's investing, Randy Pitchford's buying stuff, Sega's got their NFTs going, and into this chaos walks the most chaotic purchase of all from Nintendo, because Nintendo has purchased land.
What? They bought land.
Yeah, they purchased the land to build a new R&D office in Japan.
Oh, okay.
They spent $35 million on like a plot of land, and it's they are making, this is the name, Corporate Headquarters Development Center, Building Number 2. Here's the mock-up. Michael,
it's just a square.
It's just a white rectangle with the word Nintendo on the side of it.
They should have put a Wii symbol on that door.
Yeah, I mean, like it is Nintendo. Like they're fucking they're
serious business, to be honest.
The conservative corporation that takes their shit real seriously.
As like kitty as their games are, they're a super serious fucking corporation, to be honest.
Yeah, like Randy Pitchford's out here buying fucking like magic houses, and Nintendo's like, I would like a building. I'd like it to be square. I would like the word Nintendo to be on the side of it. The end.
I also want it to just be called Building Number 2.
Building Number 2. We need more room. What will we do? Let us buy a plot of land and build a new building on it.
Like there's nothing nonsensical about it, and I respect it.
$35 million, $39.8 million, and this building will be done in 2027. It's like this is the least interesting story I could have sent out.
It's kind of amazing because I love how corporate it is.
It's so banal. It's the most banal thing of all time.
Out of everything we've heard from every company, this is the most like, no, that makes sense.
I think Nintendo should buy the Magic Castle and tear it down and build a new headquarters that looks like this in the middle of Hollywood.
They should. I would love that. Building number 3, they'll call it.
Yeah. Anywho, oh my God, we're so low on time. All right, we got to get through this. We got to get through at least some of this.
Tiger and Bunny talk.
In other news, Vicarious Visions is now officially part of Blizzard. So
that's fucking weird.
Pour one out. We knew this was happening.
I'm bummed out by that though.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. HD version was them. We knew that they were going to be absorbed at a certain point. They have now officially been absorbed.
I'm just bummed out because even the name was a really like fantastic name.
Yeah. People online were just like, boo. But you know, it could be worse. I mean, the video game industry is like, you know, it's really chaotic. Who knows? Vicarious Visions on their own could have spent like the next 20 years making ports of other games to like new consoles.
They're real good at it though.
Yeah, or remakes of old games that they ported up to new consoles, or they could have done 2 more of those and then tried to make their own game, and then it all went terribly, and then they went out of business, and they got taken over by Activision Blizzard. So yeah. In other Activision Blizzard news, we got the story that 1,000 QA workers are getting converted over to full-time positions.
It's a good move.
Yes.
It's a desperate move, but it's a good move.
Okay, what the fuck? I skipped a story. Did I skip a story? Yes, I did skip a story. Anyway, we'll get back to it. I have mixed feelings about this. On the one hand, this specifically excludes the Ravensoft people, but this is not Activision. This is Blizzard.
Yeah.
So like, they're going to basically be absorbed into Blizzard as full-time employees. They're going to be getting a pay raise. They're going to be getting benefits and all the normal stuff. Part of me also wonders whether this is a move to make these contract workers less likely to vote on the upcoming, like the whole company has to vote on whether there can be a union.
No, absolutely.
Vote.
That's why I said it's a desperate move, because it's them 100% being like, just don't unionize. We'll give you the things that some of them want, and then if you that way you don't have anything to complain about.
It's also possible that they might see the writing on the wall that they're going to start losing people. Like,
oh no, they're going to start losing people anyways.
I'm here until the buyout, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here, kind of thing.
Which again would be a good move.
Yeah. So I don't know. The bigger news, of course, was that I skipped because I'm very tired and I'm very angry, and we got to do this. This will be our last story because I don't have time to go through this stuff.
I heard about this one.
So this was really weird. The California Department of Fair Housing and Employment had a lawyer that was investigating the Activision Blizzard case that claims that they were let go by Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and that there was a second lawyer who then like quit in protest that was like the assistant to this first lawyer. No. Newsom's office said they like don't interfere directly with these cases. Michael, I gotta say, okay, listen, I'm sad that we put that this is so far down here, but here's what I gotta say. If somebody at Activision Blizzard made a call to somebody in Gavin Newsom's office that like convinced him to get rid of the main prosecutor on the fucking case, whatever they were going to find out could not have been as bad as this, because this just sends your mind reeling.
Oh, 100%.
Like, what the fuck else could be wrong?
You got the governor of the state to squash your fucking
Not just
issue.
that, but like a fucking Democratic governor in a Democratic state. Like, what the fuck does Bobby Kotick, what did he do?
Yeah.
Like, is there...
What does he have on them?
Yeah. Like, is there like a video of him like beating somebody to death with his bare hands? Like, there's already a story out of this thing about the woman who went on the trip and then they like took pictures of her when she was drunk and passed them around the office and she killed herself.
There's
like,
already a lot of crazy shit in this whole thing.
What the fuck worse could there be? There's a voicemail that Bobby Kotick left on some intern's phone saying he's gonna fucking kill her. Ziggy would kill her with his bare hands.
There's a lot of weird shit. This thing gets crazier as it goes along. Every time I think it's not going to, it gets crazier.
What could be worse? At this point,
I don't know.
Like, the thing is that even if this whole thing resolves itself, like, at this point, if the whole California lawsuit goes away, I'm going to spend the rest of my life going, like, Bobby Kotick, like did something really bad.
He fucking did something horrible.
Like, he bought that dick attachment from Seven and then paid somebody to let him fuck a horse with it, and then the horse died.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, well, what could be worse? Like, what could, there was a party and we all got coked up and had sex with prostitutes. At this point in America, we're all just going to be like, I mean, I just kind of assume that
I just assume he does that in general. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that came out.
I assume that every Thursday, fucking, Candy comes up to your office and does some lines, and like, you guys use the executive washroom. Like, I just kind of assume that shit is happening. Like, what could be worse than that? What could come out that was worse than that?
Little people tossing.
They put that in a movie.
They did.
They put that in a movie. We wouldn't even care if that happened. I mean, like, listen.
Honestly, we probably would laugh at it.
Listen, I'm using this as an example, not as a way to make people mad at me, but like, we know for a fact that the last president fucked a porn star and then paid her. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact.
No, we all know this. He knows it.
Like,
you know it.
It's a fact.
Bobby Kotick knows it.
Right. So, like, I'm trying to think of what Bobby Kotick could do that would be worse than that. Like,
I can't think of anything. There's a lot. It'd have to be pretty fucking dark.
It'd have to be really bad.
So dark that we would, you would hate us for even saying it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe this is all just a thing. Like, I don't know. The Gavin Newsom's office came out and said, we haven't done anything. We didn't do anything. It wasn't a thing. Blah 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 blah.
Of course they would say that.
But like, again, also there's a shitload of money in this merger that's happening, and like, there's probably plenty of money. Like, Microsoft has a shitload of money, so this is money. Then Gavin Newsom, and then a guy comes in and he's got a fucking manila envelope and it's got pictures of Gavin Newsom doing something. And
so what they did is they sent Master Chief.
Also cocaine and and a lot of money in there, and he's like, you can take one of these two envelopes, Gavin, either way.
Or you can do the mystery box.
Or you do what's in the box. You chose the box. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know
what the
That's
fuck.
Fucking insane.
I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, on that happy note, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, there's so much more news. There's so much more news. Why do I keep doing this much news? And we're back.
Yes.
There's so much left, but
Yes.
we're gonna shift it up. This is the second half of the Rage Select podcast. We're kicking into high gear, ka-chunk, 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 and then like obviously we get stuck on talking about something for a million years. All right, next up we've got some bad news for CD Projekt Red. This is weird news.
It's news.
It's weird news. Yeah. So there's the next gen version of The Witcher 3 that they have advertised is going to be on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. They're doing some like enhanced stuff, ray tracing, the standard next gen stuff.
Yeah.
This was in development. It's kind of been put off for a little while, mostly because of the speed bumps of Cyberpunk 2077. These ports are now delayed indefinitely as development is moved from Saber Interactive to CD Projekt Red directly, and a lot of this comes from the fact that the studio that was doing this is in St. Petersburg, Russia, which is a whole big fucking thing. And so
those poor guys.
CD Projekt Red is a Polish company. If you're paying attention to anything right now, Russia, Poland, there's a whole bunch of shit going on there.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad time.
So they're basically having to move the entire development of that in-house. I'm sure that CD Projekt Red is like really still focused on Cyberpunk 2077, as well as the beginnings of that new Witcher game that they're making. The last thing they probably needed was like, also there's like that like a Gwent game or something, another Gwent game or something that's happening.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I'm sure that on top of all that, the last thing they needed was another fucking project. But
Wait, so Saber Interactive?
Saber Interactive, I believe, yes.
Yeah, I know they did some of the Ghostbusters video game stuff.
Well, they actually, the thing is that they have multiple offices, but this was being done at the Russian office.
Okay.
So
I wonder if they had the same thing. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy. Sucks, but interesting.
So it's basically just like pushed back indefinitely. I don't know, man. I feel like at this point, everybody that wanted to play The Witcher 3 has played The Witcher 3.
I honestly don't really need a next gen update that badly.
Yeah. So it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
We also got in other Witcher 3 news. If you guys want something interesting, I don't know if you've ever watched the YouTube channel called ETA Prime.
No, but oh my God.
I have watched ETA Prime a bunch because they do a lot of Raspberry Pi stuff and mini computer stuff. They did the fucking craziest thing in the world. This motherfucker has a thing that's an adapter that can go into an M2 slot for like a drive expansion, but it connects to an external dock that you can put a video card in that can be run through the bus of the M2 slot with the right like Windows drivers. So you can literally I don't know if you know that you can connect you can connect like a USB-C, I believe, or Thunderbolt or whatever cable, and you can literally run an external video card out of a dock.
Oh.
And because USB speeds are so fast, you can literally do all the rendering, and you can just have that be external. So you can actually have like a setup. I've seen some setups online where you have like a laptop, but then when you plug it into the dock, you hook up a 3090 to it, and you can run fucking 4K gaming on it. When it's docked.
That's fucking crazy.
So what this guy is doing is he's connecting this M2 slot to the NVIDIA cards don't work, but he has an AMD card. He's literally like jury rigging it. And at the end of the day, the whole thing is like, it's not portable anymore, obviously, because there's a cable coming out of the back. But he is running an external video card, and then he basically just does like a bunch of testing of trying to run games at 4K. It appears that the main problem at this point is that the processor in the Steam Deck is still an ARM processor. It's not like a full-on, processor. So he does a bunch of testing and basically finds that like you can't get much above like 40 frames per second even at 4K because of the bottleneck of the processor. But it's really interesting because he's got to hook up a mouse and a keyboard. It's obviously not. You can't.
It just shows the point.
Yeah, it's like nobody would actually do this. It's kind of an interesting tech solution. So.
Well, it just reminds me that there's this old joke where it's like the guy built what is the name of those? The megaphone?
Uh-huh.
It's like, he builds a megaphone with this quick thinking of a squirrel, a piece of string, and a megaphone. Because it's just like, it's just what it is. It's like you just added a fucking computer parts to the fucking thing. That destroys the point.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, to see, like, he's able to get it running pretty well, a lot better. So.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
It's very strange. It's very strange. And then last in CD Projekt Red news, apparently we got the news that they are still working pretty extensively on just DLC for Cyberpunk 2077. So
hooray!
There's still expansions and essentially full-on DLC that's coming for Cyberpunk 2077. As I've stated multiple times in the past, I will wait until Cyberpunk 2077 is done before I try playing it again.
Yeah, I hope this game ends up the way the Witcher 3's Complete whatever edition is.
Yeah.
Where it's a game that everybody ends up being like, this game's amazing.
Yes.
But currently it's in a state of disrepair.
True. Or like that last patch did a lot, but it's still seeing a lot of shit. And it doesn't seem like the systems are even all the way there. I just wonder at the end of the day whether the story will hold up, because my whole thing was I didn't care about the bugs. I just didn't really care for the story all that much.
It wasn't very interesting.
Johnny Silverhand's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, congratulations, you've got Dick Keanu in your head. He just shows up to call you a piece of shit. And I'm just like, well, fuck this game. I don't need to be called a piece of shit by Keanu Reeves. I don't feel like
guy ever.
I don't feel like that would happen in real life. Yeah.
No, it would never happen in real life. He would be so nice. He would apologize for just being like, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something else, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Here's money.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. Cyberpunk 2077 may be a game that's getting better over time, but I'll tell you a game that's really getting better over time. It's fucking No Man's Sky.
I figured it was No Man's Sky.
Yep. No Man's Sky got another update this week. Outlaws.
My God.
Yep. Outlaws adds capes and helmets for the player characters. It adds the first new player ship. It adds pirate bases, as well as pirate factions, as well as squadrons that you can put together, as well as pirate bases that you can raid, as well as pirate raids on your bases that you will have to defend against, as well as a bunch of other shit. And like,
guys,
oh my God.
No Man's Sky. I can't get over the fact that No Man's Sky redeemed themselves and then kept fucking going.
Yeah. Like, it's like, I almost feel like to be like, guys, you can stop.
You can stop.
You can stop.
Make another game at this point, guys.
I mean, like, I like the fact that they're still doing it, because I feel like eventually No Man's Sky is going to be the greatest game ever made, because they're just going to spend the next 10 years adding so much to it that eventually it's going to be like, now it has like full squad-based combat on the ground. Now it has multiplayer.
Now it's just fucking Mass Effect.
Now it has a whole storyline that we built from the ground up. Now it has, like look at this shit. Look at the pirate raids happening on your. You can make your thing, and now you can get pirates that come to your settlement. And you have to jump in your ship, and you can recruit a squadron of AI guys to go out and fucking defend your thing. And they've got these solar sails, and it looks great. There's already a mech suit. And you can ride worms. You can build things. And you can play with your friends. And what the fuck,
they
man?
just keep going, man.
Like, holy shit!
This game. I remember when this game came out. Everyone was like, "This is fucking awful."
Yeah,
we wanted more, and then the guy just went challenge accepted,
right?
And then never stopped fucking accepting that challenge.
Hold my beer, and it was just like, "Do you want your beer back yet?" And like, no,
He's
no,
like,
more.
More.
And like, it looks great. Like, they've got all the next gen upgrades that make the lighting and stuff better, and like, it looks so much.
All this shit's free, by the way.
Better, yeah.
That's the other thing. Yeah. They don't charge for all of the things they keep adding. They just keep adding it.
This is like four $40 expansion packs worth of stuff.
It's a whole other game's worth of expansions.
Like, nobody could still be mad at you guys.
You could have made No Man's Sky 2 and added all this stuff, and no one would have batted an eyelash.
Yep.
But they just keep going.
It looks great.
They just keep fucking going, man.
I look forward to seeing what they do next. It looks fucking cool as shit. Like, goddamn. We should make a range select world. We should pick a world and let everybody come in and do whatever the fuck they want to. People who want to play it.
Crazy fucking thing.
And then I could just keep going and like go into a like in Minecraft, just go to a thing and be like, oh, look, a bunch of upgraded stuff for me. Yay.
Good for them. I'm serious. Good for them.
Yeah. It's fucking. It feels like every so often it's just like, hey, here's more No Man's Sky. And you're just like, really?
Like, holy shit, guys!
Okay.
No, you're good.
All right,
you've redeemed yourself like 3 years ago.
Yep. But who needs No Man's Sky, Michael? When you have Elden Ring. Elden Ring is still a thing.
What the fuck?
A few things. So. First up this week, somebody in Trials made an Elden Ring level. This is all made with the shit in Trials.
Oh my God.
Like, you can go download this level. This isn't a mod or anything. And like, man, this shit looks good. It's got like did you see it's got like the sites of grace and like player messages and
He's got the fucking trees in the back.
Like the Elden tree in the background, or like the Erd tree in the background, and like it looks fucking great.
This looks amazing.
It looks like a really good Elden Ring level. Like, kind of makes you wonder what would happen if they actually like
added enemies up and shit to it.
Yeah.
You got a boss door.
Fog gate in the background. Yeah, like this is kind of amazing. You can go download this and play it right now, apparently.
This is so well made. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah. That happened. That was one thing.
That's really cool, actually.
One thing that happened in Elden Ring. Here's another thing that happened. I think I told you about this, but there's a YouTube channel that I've talked about in the past called Flurdeh, Flurdeh, that does these tilt shift videos.
They're really cool. I've seen a few of these.
Yeah, where they take a game and then they put like a virtual camera in it, and they do this kind of depth of field vision, and they do this like low frame rate thing that makes it look like somebody's taken a bunch of pictures. Kind of makes everything look like a toy or like a weird like a camera.
Yeah. There's something storybook about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a set of models. It makes everything look like a model and a tiny figure.
Yeah.
In the middle of it.
And they did it for Elden Ring. And it's interesting because you never see any of this stuff that they're showing in Elden Ring from this perspective.
Yeah,
it's all from this kind of top-down perspective that makes it look like really cool and really interesting. I'll be honest, there are a few like spoilers for later
There's quite a few,
areas,
actually.
but
well, for some of the bosses at least.
But it looks really cool. It's like a really nifty looking thing. Florida is it's a very classy YouTube channel. Like they don't do a lot of filler. They just do kind of the thing they want to do every so often. But this one, like Elden Ring, looks really good when you make it like this. It makes you wonder about like an RTS game or something that is Elden Ring.
Well, what I love about it is the fact that it somehow it ends up making the backgrounds feel like models.
Yeah,
like every time I see it, it feels like like you said, a stop motion with toys and stuff, and it's really fucking cool every time.
Yep.
No matter what game he does. He does a lot of these too.
I did like Red Dead and I think Witcher at some point, and like a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, they look real good. I highly recommend everybody go check that out. If you want, you can find it by searching for Tiny Elden Ring Tilt Shift on YouTube and see it there. How many? I feel like in knowing where you are in Elden Ring, Michael, that like there's only a few of these areas that you haven't been to yet. I think there's like
so far
2, maybe
only a couple,
but most of these are like
that fucking area. Oh my god! First time I tried fighting in that area, I was like, "This is a terrible idea."
Yeah, even the giant walking mausoleums, they're like really cool looking. Yeah. I kind of wish there were more bosses. I kind of wish they had been able to show more bosses from this perspective.
Yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, let's see. From there, we also had a report that came out last week talking about the cut content that's been mined. There was apparently there used to be a whole thing where you could you would get this item and I feel like this makes a lot more sense about why there's a day-night cycle in the game, where at night you could find animals that were asleep and you could see this like mist that was coming from them and harvest it, and then take this mist to an NPC and they would distill like a liquor that you could then share with NPCs that would make them like get drunk and fall asleep, and then like they would say things in their sleep to like you could hear like their deepest, darkest thoughts in their sleep.
That's amazing.
They talk about how like the NPC was in the beta test. Like this actually came from mining the beta test content from somebody with a modded PS4 who was able to do this.
Oh, gotcha.
And they talk about the first merchant, the Ella merchant, and how Kale in the Church of Ella, and that when he drank or when he fell asleep, he would talk about fire burning in his eyeballs, which is a reference to chaos part of the game, which is another cut content thing where like there's a lot of cut content, and the fact that they restored like some of the cut content in the first update makes me really excited that because this game has sold like 4 times as much as the previous games, that while they're working on the DLC that will just keep restoring cut content, because all of the Souls games have had a lot of interesting cut content to them. Like Bloodborne was really interesting because they kept finding chalice dungeons with cut content bosses in them.
Yeah.
And then like you would have to very specifically go to like this hash dungeon and you could find like a version of a boss or a boss that wasn't in the game. Like apparently at one point the end boss of Bloodborne was just like a Cthulhu that you could only fight like the tentacles of, and like the other half of it was like in another dimension, and you could actually see that in one of the chalice dungeons. So I'm really excited that they could do a thing like restore some of this stuff, because it makes me think about how there's a day-night cycle in Elden Ring, but like the only thing it does is like there are a few enemies that only come out at night, and that's really the only thing that you would need to like go to nighttime to do. Whereas here it's like, oh, at nighttime, like wouldn't it be cool if there was a lot of the animals on the map that were asleep at night? Like it would actually make it interesting to be like, if there's an area that's got a lot of animals in it, that like certain enemies go to sleep at night, and then it would be like, oh, if I go here at night I can sneak by the sleeping people and
it wouldn't
enemies.
be as difficult kind of thing.
Right, to get to certain locations, which, if you know anything about Elden Ring, it's like, well, you could skip all that XP and you're going to be underleveled when it comes to time to fight a boss.
Yeah.
But, if you're like good and shit, then like, I don't know, maybe not. I kind of just want them to institute a full-on stealth system where you can like stealth beat some of the bosses or something, but like...
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cool stealth stuff you can do in that game.
Yeah. So, speaking of cool, weird animals, we got a trailer for the Island of Big Snacks for Bug Snacks. It's been a while since we heard about the Bug Snacks.
Yeah, speaking of fuck up lore.
Yeah, speaking of terrifying bullshit, this just kind of explained the Isle of Big Snacks, which is coming at the end of April. It's coming April 28th, where there's a big new island that comes up, and there's a bunch of giant-sized bug snacks there.
Yep.
And you can go and you can catch them. I like the big celery with the big celery bug with the peanut butter on him. Apparently, there's also going to be a system where you can get requests from the villagers to go do certain things that will then give you rewards, including you can decorate your house. You have a little hut in Bug Snacks. Did you play Bug Snacks?
I did for a little bit, but I didn't get very far. I liked what I saw, but it became one of those things where like, there's too many things I still need to finish.
Yeah, that's true. You get a little house in the Bug Snacks in the village of the guys, and you'll now be able to get items to decorate it in specific ways from different people, and also hats. You'll be able to get hats that you can put on Bug Snacks.
What a crazy fucking series.
Yep, it's fucking weird. And it looks like there's a lot of new things that you can do with the big snacks. Yeah. Also, Michael, I don't know if you know this, but I believe it's April 28th. Let me just make sure. April 28th is when this is coming out. And that also is ending the PlayStation exclusivity. So it's coming to the PC and the Xbox, and it's coming to Game Pass.
Ooh, good for them.
You can fucking play Bug Snacks on Game Pass. It was actually PS Plus. I gotta assume that both of those programs are paying pretty well because Young Horses hasn't like gone out of business.
Yeah, they've just been doing fine so far.
Whereas, in fact, most of their games have been free, or well, not free, but like with subscription in one way or the other. But yeah, $25 at launch, and then if you already have Bug Snacks. First off, if you beat in the game, this will put you right back before the final mission of the game, so that you can do the DLC. And then, no, that was it. There was something else, but it's gone now.
Were they going to? I know there were talks about maybe adding extra achievements to it, but I don't know if they ended up doing that or not.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because Greg Miller bullied them into the idea.
Oh,
because he loves getting trophies.
Fucking Greg Miller.
Yeah, Greg Miller's all over the place, Jeff. You can't get away from him.
Can't go a goddamn day without hearing about Greg Miller.
It's kind of true.
Fight me, but don't, because I'm not in shape. You'll kick my ass.
He's not in that much better shape.
Oh, good. So it'll just be two fat guys like wheezing.
He's a new dad too, so you could probably take him out when he's tired.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty tired all the time myself.
That's true.
Do I get to drink the beers beforehand? Because I'm more of a drunken master.
I don't see why not. But he might show up without a shirt and a Spider-Man mask on. So.
I got to get all the sugar from the beer in my system, and then I'll be good to go for like 20 minutes. And then I'll be too drunk, and I don't want to fight you anymore, Greg Miller. Let's see. We talked about Game Pass and other Microsoft news. This is kind of just an interesting one-off. It's not necessarily gaming related, but apparently there were 7 internet domains that Strontium, which is a Russian state-sponsored hacking group, were using to launch cyber attacks against Ukraine that Microsoft seized recently. Apparently they were doing... This is just like one of these hacking military intelligence units that was like part of the fucking the election stuff, all that cyber bullshit.
That's fascinating.
And Microsoft was just like, yep, we basically got the court order that we needed to just be like, nope, and we just took these domains away. Or actually what they did was they said that they funneled the domains, so they're now just like going into nothing. They're just like in a dump.
Oh, okay.
So like they can run an attack through those domains, but it just will always be routed to just garbage, so that it's unusable.
Nice.
Which is kind of interesting.
A lot of redirects.
Yep. I now have PC Gamer as one of the things that I check for news. So I sometimes keep getting these news stories that are just like, I don't know, it's like computer related, I guess.
Sure. Question mark?
So, okay, all right. Well, that may not be the most exciting news, Michael, but I have some exciting news.
Is it a new Nintendo building?
For you. No, it's way less exciting than a Square Nintendo building.
Okay, cool.
It's a mod for a game that you like that's Microsoft related. Come on, you got this.
I got nothing. It's a Halo one?
Halo!
It's a Halo mod?
It's a group that has made this mod for the PC version of Halo Infinite that lets you play the entire game in third person.
That's fascinating.
Because, unlike a lot of video games, like because of the multiplayer aspect, all the third person stuff is modeled, right?
Yeah,
it's not like
doesn't look like nonsense.
Yeah, it's not a game where you're just a series of floating arms, right?
Yeah, it's not like when they did that to Cyberpunk, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Shit was ridiculous.
Yep. But yeah, because you're able to do that, and because in the game you're able to pull the turrets and stuff off, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so there's already a third camera that you could set it to.
Yeah. And so they just kind of set it as always that. And like, I kind of like the way that it looks.
It looks really cool, actually.
Like, I mean, especially in the kind of the open world of Halo, like it gives you a little bit more like situational awareness because you can just kind of see around yourself a little bit more.
Also, it really lets you look at the movements a lot more.
Yeah.
It looks really fucking cool.
Yeah, the way that the Master Chief is able to like slide and grapple and like put stuff
before
down.
Stuff like this, the only way you could see this specific camera angle without having a turret was either A, you died, or B, it was like a replay that you could zoom out of kind of thing.
Yeah. It's really cool. I mean, this is just on the PC. It's a little fiddly to set up, but I'm like, I don't know, man.
I kind of would love to play Halo like this.
I kind of would rather play this game than the one that you and I played when Halo Infinite came out.
It just looks really fucking cool. Like, because you see all the animations and there's a lot of work put into them, and the fact that they don't look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Also, it helps. This is the mod team that made this video, and it's just like this video is like a showcase to show all the different things. So they're very much like kind of flipping between a bunch of different things. The only thing I think is that this video doesn't show, and I don't know if it's part of the mod or not, is like I would like it so that if you do hit the iron sights button, that you then zoom into the iron sights.
No, it did it for a second ago. There, did you see that?
No.
Like rerun it a little one more time. One more time. There.
Yeah, but that was like it didn't actually zoom. Like it showed.
But I think that's what it's doing though.
Yeah,
I think that's like what it does if you do that.
Yeah, so I think I would like to see that. Like that would be the other thing.
Work. Okay.
Yeah, like have it zoom in a little bit more, just because some of the stuff in Halo you're shooting from a pretty big distance, right?
The sniper rifle would be pretty much useless.
But this is cool. Like this is rad looking. I totally played the hell out of this.
I appreciate the fact that it shows how good these models are, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is let me make sure that I cite the right YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is Opulent Halo.
Nice. Good for those guys.
But yeah, it looks really cool. It looks really cool. You should check it out.
I still really like Halo, to be honest. Even now.
Let's see. I don't know what my transition was to this because I'm really tired now. Michael, you remember earlier where you were talking about the Club Penguin?
Oh, geez. What did they do?
Okay. So Club Penguin was owned by Disney.
Oh, it was? I didn't know that.
Yep. And in London, in the UK, not in the US, but in the UK, there was a group of 3 guys that, like, when Club Penguin was shut down, because that was only like 2 or 3 years ago, it was shut down. They basically, like, ripped all the assets out and, like, started up their own server, and they started a new website where it's like, hey, you like Club Penguin? Keep playing Club Penguin. Do it on our servers. We got Club Penguin for you. Well, those guys got arrested.
Christ almighty. Those poor bastards.
Yeah. So
they just wanted to do Club Penguin things.
So here's the thing. At a certain point, those guys realized that, like, in order to even run a fake ripoff Club Penguin, they needed money.
Oh God, that's where it happened.
So they put real ads into Club Penguin on their website.
That's where they fucked up, guys.
And I think that's where they fucked up, because now technically you're making money off of Disney's intellectual property, and Disney doesn't have any fucking sense of humor about that shit. Like,
well, in this instance, I can't blame them, because before it's just a fan-made thing, And because that's the thing is they could have shut them down whenever.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that they did this now is
It took them 3 years to shut them down.
purely because of a money thing.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them because it's like, well, now you guys are making money off of this. This is not yours at that point. Like if it was a donations thing, they probably could have got away with it.
Yeah.
But it's like they're actual ads, and that's where they fucked up.
It's just kind of interesting, though, that like in other countries that you'll have these stories of just like, and then that person got arrested. And in America, you're like, what? For stealing? That's stupid.
That's
like,
dumb.
What are you talking about? I'm going to steal that Batman movie as soon as we're done with this podcast.
Allegedly.
No, I'm gonna. I pay for HBO Max. The only difference is seeing it 3 days early. I paid for that shit. Like, also, okay, fine, sue me. I'll give you the price of a movie ticket. I don't care.
Sure, I guess.
do that now. But
I'm
like,
gonna shut you down for Club Penguin, Jeff.
well, like we had a story. It was like last year at some point of just like some lady in Japan who was making Demon Slayer cakes. And she got arrested for it.
That's right.
Like, yeah, fuck you. Like we take that shit too seriously here.
A lot of that shit, man. They
Apparently, these guys are out of prison. Apparently, what they did was they just, they agreed to hand over all this stuff and shut down the website, and they like let them out of jail.
That
so,
sucks for the Penguin people.
Yeah. Apparently now, like, you just go to the homepage and it just has a message that says this site has been taken over by Operation Creative Police Intellectual Property Crime Unit. PIPCU. So
that sucks for them, but they did it to themselves.
yeah, if you're gonna rip them off, well, it's like I'm gonna make my own Pokemon game, and it's like, man, you better rename that shit. Like,
what if they had guns though, Jeff? And they made factories with them with guns.
Well, those are not Pokemon. That game I want to play that game
insanity.
Real bad.
I want that to come out so we could look at it.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, QuakeCon is going to be all online this year.
Ooh.
I feel like that is a kind of I don't know. Like the thing is, they talked about how like it wasn't supposed to be online, or no, they weren't sure. They weren't sure whether it was going to be online, and kind of by the time they got their shit together, it was like, we don't have enough time to actually do an in-person thing.
That makes sense.
QuakeCon is going to be online August 18th through the 20th. It's going to be a digital event, and they're not coming back to Dallas. I don't know if, QuakeCon's in Dallas, but I don't want to go to Dallas. Dallas sucks.
Well, Dallas is not great, but they do a lot of
Dallas.
convention stuff there for some reason.
Dallas blows. And don't even get me started on Fort Worth.
They don't even have an HEB there. Like savages.
What?
They don't. That's the did you not know that?
I did not know that.
If you go past a certain point in Texas, HEBs just are not there. And the Dallas-Fort Worth area is that section.
What? Why would you ever live in Dallas?
Right? It's terrible.
Why would you ever live in Dallas?
It's just the worst. Because my brother lived in that area years ago. That's how I found out. We were there, and he's like, yeah, let's go get groceries. Like, yeah, where's the HEB at? He's like, we don't have one. I was like, what? Why? We're still in Texas, right? That's what was my thought.
That's some bullshit.
I was like, this is nonsense. I don't want to do this. Let's not go now.
I saw something. I don't even know how I came across it. I might have been a cross post to like a Facebook or something. But like, it was like on the Austin subreddit where somebody was like, okay, guys, like, what the fuck with HEB? Like, why do you guys love this place so much? And then it was just like page after page after page about stories when HEB was doing a good thing, and like the donations and the community work that they do and all this stuff. And the funny guy was like, all right, I fucking get it.
Here's the thing. I trust HEB more than I trust any government agency in the entirety of...
shit, yeah.
And I mean the U.S. I don't mean just the state of Texas. I mean the entirety of the U.S.
Yeah. What they call HEB, the fourth branch of the Texas government.
Did I tell you okay, so recently they were running out of... They weren't able to make the homemade tortillas.
Uh-huh.
They only had like these butter ones.
Yeah.
And I hate the butter ones because they just smell like fucking... like straight up smell like popcorn.
Yeah.
And so
I love it.
I decided to call the corporate number because I was kind of tired, and I was like, I want my goddamn tortillas. And they're like, we'll call you back. And then they did, and they're like, hey, we're getting them back next week. I'm like, I was like, God bless you guys.
The fact that just they called you back to tell you.
Yeah, they called me back.
There was somebody there who
directly
answered the
to tell
phone.
me.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, he was like, here's the deal. They explained the entire situation to me, and like in detail. That I was like, I can't be mad at you guys. You told me literally the exact reasons why all this happened.
Goddamn, HEB is the best. Sorry, guys, you don't know what it's like until you have a really, really
really great HEB.
I feel like it's a thing where you go to another place and it's just like, let's go to Albertsons, let's go to Safeway, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, at least it's not Walmart.
Well, my God.
Walmart does have one thing. They have a few things over HEB, but they're very small things.
I just don't understand. Oh, sorry, we have to get back to it, but I just, actually, I only got a little time. I don't understand what the fuck happened to Walmart. Like, there was a certain point where they were just like, okay, reduce the staff of all Walmarts by 60%.
Oh, I actually know exactly what happened.
And then everybody that's left, just beat them for a while and tell them that the customers are allowed to beat them too. Like, the people that work at Walmart look like the scared, hairy dogs.
It's
like,
true.
They're just like, don't fucking talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me, man.
I actually know exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah?
So I found this out when I worked for Sam's Club years and years ago. When Sam Alton died, it turns out his kids were terrible fucking people.
Oh.
And so from then on, Walmart became what it is now.
Oh.
Because Sam Alton was like, he was still a rich kind of asshole, but he was like the kind of guy who was like, I understand why business is good and why you keep things fucking legit.
Yeah.
So once he died, they're like, what can we cut as much as we can to just make even more money?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what
I think the last time I went to a Walmart, I wanted to buy an Xbox controller, and they're locked to the thing.
Yeah.
And like the person in that area was helping a family of 8 buy cellular telephones. And it was like, oh, they're going to be doing this for like 5 hours.
Yeah, you're never going to forget that another
guy. And then I like walked around. I tried to get people's attention, and they were like, well, you got to ask the guy over there. And I'm like, well, he's setting up a cellular telephone. I just want to buy a $50 Xbox controller. And they're like, well, I can't do that. You got to ask the guy. And I was like, I'm going to go to GameStop. This will take 5 minutes. Like, I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Although for some reason Elden Ring was cheaper there, and I have no idea why.
I don't know. Speaking of things that are completely incomprehensible, Watch Dogs is returning, Michael.
Really?
As a manga.
Oh. It's being ported to manga? I didn't know you could do that.
Manga. Yeah, you can read it online. It's called Watch Dogs Tokyo, and it's on the Karage Bunch website.
Good for them? Question mark?
What, like, Ubisoft? What the fuck, man? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
They don't want to. They want to keep Watch Dogs a thing, but they don't know what to do right now.
I guess, but is this the thing to do? Like,
it's a nice idea. People like.
Oh, wait a minute.
Other things.
I think I just realized what's happening.
What's that?
They're going to run this manga for 2 years, and they're going to make it into an anime.
Oh.
And there's going to be a Watch Dogs anime.
I could see that.
And it was going to be like, that Watch Dogs anime is not that bad because it doesn't have anything to do with Ubisoft.
I swore Ubisoft, because Ubisoft was doing a lot of shit with Assassin's Creed for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
They made a lot of comics based on that, some animated stuff.
A movie.
A terrible fucking movie.
I never saw it.
Movie.
I never watched it.
They didn't even say animus correctly. They say it like anima. So they say animus.
Animus?
Yeah. So it's like, what?
Okay.
It's like there's a whole game that where they pronounce it in. What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the Ong Ing thing in Avatar.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, guys?
Let's see. And last, before we get to some trailers, hey, guys, this is probably just a temporary thing, but there's been a bunch of people talking about how PS3 and Vita games on old systems are just like losing their expiration date on the PlayStation has been updated to be like 1969 so that they're like expired and you can't fucking download or play them anymore.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, a lot of people had noticed this on the PS1 Chrono Cross version, where it shows the expiration of 12/31/1969. People think that this is probably due to an error, where that's like a specific date that a lot of coders use as like the base of dates.
Most likely, yeah.
And that there probably was some kind of like update that needed to happen to update the licensing for it, and that it just updated the wrong date. But what is meant is that a lot of people are unable to use it. At first, I think that people thought that this was to try to get people to buy that new Chrono Cross version that came out last week, but it also affected Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, and so I thought, it's just Square games, but there was like Rune Factory Origins, which is not a Square game. So I have a feeling that, this is one of those things where like they complain about it and then it gets fixed.
Yeah, it's one of those issues where I don't think anyone was going to notice unless somebody complained, because they're two stores that they were going to shut down anyways.
Yep.
Eventually, so yeah.
Yep. All right. How about some trailers? Let's go back to Halo. Halo Infinite Season 2 Lone Wolves had their trailer. Oh, are you excited about this?
Yeah, because in the trailer it has more maps and stuff, and we've all been playing the same maps for so long that I'm excited to be able to finally be in a map where not everyone has memorized where the rocket launcher is going to be every 20 seconds.
You're still playing Halo?
Every now and then.
Yeah.
It's not as much as I did in the beginning. One, because I finished the
Battle Pass,
which is the other reason I'm excited, because this means that there's going to be a new Battle Pass.
Yeah,
and two, even the event stuff that they did, I got for the most part what I wanted out of them. Like, in fact, one of the event ones they did, I wasn't able to finish, but there was a bug in the last week of the event, which was the time frame I was playing some of it.
Yeah,
where it wasn't progressing the events card to unlock stuff. And so they're like, yeah, if you played it during this certain time, we're just going to give you all of the fucking things in that thing. Oh. And so I just got them all.
Oh,
even though I'd only did like 3 things.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, well, that works, I guess.
Nice.
Kind of thing. So it's like, so even when I was playing it, I was still just getting that shit without having to do too much. For the ones I wanted, at least.
Cool.
So I don't know, but I'm very excited to see where we're going, because a lot of Halo people feel starved right now.
Yeah.
Like the game feels great, but there's like only so many maps right now.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot going on outside of that, so I don't know. I'm happy that we're going to finally get something outside of more just like random armors.
And this is May 3rd is when this starts.
Yeah, very soon.
So
very excited.
Yeah, good stuff. Call of Duty is also having their Season 3 is happening. They put out a cinematic trailer for that. I wouldn't normally be talking about this, but there's a weird thing happening here where there's a lot of stuff at the end of this that seems to indicate that Caldera Island, which is the island where the characters are now fighting. This is the new island for Warzone. Yeah. They're fighting like Nazis, I guess, even though I don't know what time period we're in anymore. It doesn't seem like it could be old-timey, but it doesn't seem that way.
Maybe it's a time warp. I don't know.
And the Nazis have like a bunch of like canisters of weird shit that they're putting out there. But then there's a lot of indications there's going to be some kind of Godzilla crossover.
I'm sorry, what was that last thing you said?
There's a radio transmission at the end that has like literally, here, let me show you. Somebody downloaded one of these. It's from like their Twitter. Oh my God, I closed it. Hold on. From their Twitter where they closed it, and then actually, do I not even have this? No, I don't. Where it's it's so fucked up, I have to show you. It's like a waveform, and in the waveform is the words like "Here there are monsters." Like if you put it in like Audacity, you could literally see like the letters, like the waveform
has the like it spells out.
Yeah, or something along those lines. Let me see if I can find it. This is like one of those things. Yeah, monsters are real. Like if you put the audio, yeah, it like literally has the letters in the spectrograph.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Also, there's like a sound that people saw on their like the Twitter account that is the same sound that was used as like a promo for the one of the Godzilla movies. I know also because I didn't know that this was happening, and then Matt Frank messaged me and was like, we are playing the Godzilla Call of Duty crossover, and I had to message him back and be like, Matt, I hate to tell you this, but like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like a skin. Like, we already had the Armored Titan skin, and like the Die Hard skin and the Rambo skin.
Although I'm amazed the first thing you message him was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I went to go look it up. But like, I don't think that this is going to be an actual, if this is a Call of Duty Godzilla crossover event that actually has story content, I will play it with Matt Frank. I will. But if it's just like you could dress up like Godzilla in Warzone, I will not be playing that.
I would have been surprised. Oh, you should at least let him try it just to see it.
You know what? I just need to make him and Jason do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with Ghostwire, then I can just sit here and get drunk while the two of them play Call of Duty Warzone.
That's exactly what you do.
Bunch of fucking nerds. Can't believe Jason Murphy's a Call of Duty guy now.
It's strange.
It's a strange
Well,
thing
it would
about
explain that big opening thing with like the gas coming out of what looks almost like a volcano.
that. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he comes out of the volcano. Who knows?
It's weird. It's very strange. I don't
Or maybe
understand
it's just a kaiju in general. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh my God. If they put out a Godzilla costume, then there'll also be a Kong costume, right? So somebody can dress up like the monkey and dress up like the Godzilla.
Reject modernity.
You know what I want it to be?
Except the monkey.
You know what I want it to be? I want it to be a costume, a quote-unquote Godzilla costume that looks like one of those Spirit Halloween store battery pack blow-up costumes. But for Call of Duty.
So you got the little window, too?
It's got a little window, and so you can see your guy running like he's
Head's
playing Call of
flopping.
Duty, but with the big, the big poofy costume.
I love for the head to flop the same way they do when they run.
Yep. It'd be great.
You can't headshot them either because that's not where their head is.
In other online news, we got I don't think it's the first time in a while that we've gotten an Overwatch story. We got an Overwatch story for Sojourn.
Oh, that's right. This is still a game that's happening.
Yeah. So Overwatch 2 Sojourn character that's kind of like talking about this character who apparently Sojourn was in the original like reactivation thing with Winston, and also
If I remember correctly, yeah.
was like the voiceover person giving you your orders in some of the anniversary stuff, and has already been kind of shown off for Overwatch 2, and she's like a cyborg. And they show, fighting alongside Soldier 76 back when he was a regular guy, and then like leaving Overwatch. So I don't think she's actually part of Overwatch anymore. This just reminded me though that I'm just like, guys, to quit motion comicking, go back to making the animated movies. Those
Who's
were so
gonna animate
good.
them, Jeff?
Well-
they're all leaving and stuff and getting sexually harassed.
I didn't assume that Blizzard was the one doing that in the first place. I assumed they outsourced that shit.
That's true. They most likely did too.
But
Probably just don't want to spend the money right now.
true. But yeah, we're actually. I mean, we either just had or are getting close to the beta test, the network test for Overwatch 2. So
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about anybody finding stuff about characters, so I assume it hasn't happened yet.
yeah, I can't. You're gonna have to do more than this to get me excited for Overwatch 2.
I'm not in any way excited for Overwatch 2, which is sad because I really loved Overwatch 1 when it first came out.
Yeah,
But the issues that Overwatch eventually, like you said, or in the past stuff, it all eventually became too pro. Yeah. Before it was just having fun with people, and then I stopped playing, and then I played with my old high school friends again. This was like years and years ago when it became more pro, and they got so annoying with their you have to do this X thing and you have to do this thing at this time.
the meta.
I'm like, dude, I just want to be McCree and shoot people in the face.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is now at this
What
point.
is his name now?
I don't even know his name at this
my
point.
God,
I'm just
I
going to
don't
call him
either.
James or Jesse James. I don't know. But
yeah,
I know it involves some sort of thing. Life of me, I can't remember what it is anymore.
yeah. See, the problem is that if Overwatch 2 comes out, that everybody that's playing Overwatch 1 will just go do the meta for Overwatch 2. My hope is that the PvE content of Overwatch 2 is good enough that I can have fun playing Overwatch again.
Yeah, that's
without
probably what
playing
I'll end up
versus
doing.
people.
Yeah.
Who knows? From there, we got a big old Fire Emblem Three Hopes trailer. That's the Muso game that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that.
And they showcase that there's a new character. There's a like a mercenary that's like the character that you're going to play in the game, and that it appears that the mercenary is like that the bad guy is the Ashen Demon, which appears to be Byleth.
Yeah,
from Fire Emblem.
Straight up Byleth.
And what's interesting is over the course of this, it shows that you can choose like the sex for Shez, who is the new protagonist. So
What a
there's
weird
like
name.
a guy and a girl version.
Sounds like he's got a French chef.
Hello, I am Shiz.
I'm Shez. How can I take you out? Do you like spaghetti?
It's interesting. It appears. Oh, by the way, you gotta side with the golden deer or you're a cop. It's like, fuck you. I'm not willing to. Well, there's the. Do you want to be on authoritarian 1's side or authoritarian 2's side, or like, I don't know, the cool guy that runs the trading empire that just fucking do whatever and he rides a dragon and he's like a cool guy, or do you want to be like part of like these Nazis or these Nazis? Do you want to be part of like the fucking the Russian army or the German army, and I'm just like, I want to be part of the cool army. That's the golden deer for.
This is like the Pokemon Go teams all over again.
Yeah. They show in this trailer, Michael, I don't know if you got a chance to see any of these, but
I didn't see this one.
They show some kind of cool stuff. Like they show some kind of in between stuff where you can that lady, she's one of the golden deer. I remember her because I played this game and it was 600 hours long. She's a barbarian, like she's a axe wielder, and she's lazy as fuck and doesn't want to do anything. And when she does anything, she fucking kicks ass. But when you try to get her to do anything, she's like, I don't want to. I want to sleep and eat. And you're like, baby, please, we're in a battle. And she's like, fine. There's some parts here where they show something I've never seen in like a Muso game, where you can actually give orders to like units. In like, well, first off, in the overmap, there's like development, but then there's like setting up deployments, like a Fire Emblem game, in the actual. You're going to play on this map, and then also like
that's actually kind of creative,
like giving orders, like having units heal or go to this location, as opposed to just kind of like, I don't know, then the battle starts and I'm just going to go kill everybody.
Yeah,
I'm going to go kill 6,000 people by myself.
I'm going to go walk into this corner and just murder everything, and then maybe my one ally won't get murdered.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, doing a good job. And also it looks like your main character can switch between different classes in the game, which is nice. Fire Emblem thing, obviously.
What do I get a Gundam?
You go play Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Okay.
Not Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem. Yeah. Looks good. I mean, like, again, it looks like one of those things where, like, if you're into Fire Emblem, there you go, man. Like, go for it. Also, again, I don't know. Did I mention before that you can also switch whether Byleth is a lady or a dude? Like
in this game?
Yeah, like the very last thing in the trailer that they show is basically like bringing up. It says select the Ashen Demon's form, and it's Byleth, and it's like, oh, do you want the guy Byleth or the lady Byleth? It's like,
choose the form of your destructor.
Yeah. So
I want the marshmallow guy back there.
I don't know. It seems like it might be the sort of thing where like Byleth had like this ancient, like this god that was watching over them. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like from this, it seems like it might be that you also have like a patron god, and that god is at odds with Byleth's god, and that's
so we're now Khonshu's guy, and then the other guy, or whatever. I don't know. I haven't watched all of Moon Knight.
Yeah. And the other guy is Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
I want to say Hunt. I'm like, I know that's not it. That's like Mission Impossible,
Tom
man.
Cruise.
Yeah.
All over again.
That would be really weird if that character in Moon Knight was Tom Cruise.
Just Tom Cruise.
Was a fucking hippie Tom Cruise guy.
That'd be pretty funny. And he's literally just still Ethan Hunt.
Next, from former Deus Ex art director, we've got a game called Hell Is Us that is a really weird thing. It's like the trailer kind of shows like this person executing this other person, and then it goes and it shows it like multiple times. Like it shows it like kind of happening and then rewinding and then happening and then rewinding, and that whole thing turns into this like weird sphere on a battlefield, and there's like a guy with like this drone and a big sword, and like it looks kind of interesting, but I'd like to advise everybody to don't buy this game. I want to tell everybody to fucking steal this game because it's being published by Nacon. And Nacon is the group that fucked over Frogwares, as well as the Paranoia Happiness is Mandatory people.
They just keep fucking up everybody. They're going to fuck these guys over too, probably.
They're probably going to fuck these guys up. I don't know how, but they probably will.
They're going to.
Holy shit. Michael, my jaw is tired. I think I've recorded too many things today.
You've been talking quite a bit today. Because you also did a video earlier today, too.
We got a 5-minute behind the scenes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. There's not a whole lot more here that we don't already know. So it just kind of tells the story of the tribute guys and then the Dot-Emu guys. This is kind of a fun thing. I don't know if you watched this.
I was going to, but I forgot.
Where the .emu guys was like, yeah, we were going to this publisher and we were just like, yeah, we want to make a Ninja Turtles game. They're like, funny thing, there was like a guy in here yesterday pitching me a Ninja Turtles game. And so the two of them met up and they were just like, let's make a Ninja Turtles game.
They high-fived and they're like, yeah, let's get some pizza. And then they went to there.
They talked about using the 80s Ninja Turtles because all of the lore is already established. They don't have to do any work on that.
That's true.
They just get to fucking worry about the hardcore, the mechanics, because you already have the connection. Of course, I did, like, in the very beginning, they showed this comic with this, like, bug guy and this, like, weird leech man. I think I had that comic. Pretty sure I had that comic. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had this one, too, with the cow guys.
Okay.
Anyway, this game looks like it's gonna be fucking rad.
I'm so fucking excited.
It looks so good.
Do we still not know a release date still?
I thought we got a release date for it.
I've been waiting for it forever, and nobody's fucking said when it comes out.
Let's see.
And it's been frustrating me to no end because I just want this thing to be out already. I just know it's this year.
Is there a release date? Let's see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Copy. Let's search for that. Riveting stuff.
The Rivetist.
Release date. It looks like it's still just set to 2022.
Yeah. I just want to know when it comes out so I can take the time off and then try to convince my brothers to all hang out and just play this game.
Play some Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
Finally on the Saturday morning cartoon parade, there's a game called Myth Force that is happening. It's too bad that I can't turn up the sound for this because this is being made by what is this? It's it is Beamdog, Asper Media and Beamdog, and it's kind of cool. If you get a chance, everybody should go watch this. Where it's just a Saturday morning cartoon intro for this game called Myth Force, and it's got a fucking 80s hair metal like the intro to a Saturday morning cartoon song that's going on. It's very well animated in a way that makes it look like an 80s cartoon.
It's pretty fun actually.
But this is going to be a first-person shooter roguelite that's going to happen on the Epic Game Store. And then the way that they're going about the gameplay of it, nope, that's the same video. Jeff, come on, if I can get your shit together, is it's all like cell shaded. So it's going to kind of be Borderlands-y.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but the characters are all like cell shaded, and then the backgrounds have a kind of like almost like they're painted look to them. So it kind of looks like a Saturday morning cartoon.
What's that painted look?
Yep. Just like Michael's favorite game of 2022, Babylon's Fall.
I was looking at somebody talking about Babylon's Fall, and they're like, there are 10 consecutive players on Steam right now for Babylon's Fall.
Babylon's Fall. I think like somebody in the comments of Babylon's Fall was giving me shit for being too harsh on Babylon's Fall.
They're like, you're playing it wrong. Like, I'm sure I am, buddy. I'm sure I am.
Yep.
Fucking that
10
game.
people.
Fucking hell.
Should have stuck with it. I like a lot of what I'm seeing here. I don't like the way that the smoke keeps being repeated. Like that you keep seeing the same kind of smoke thing for the mage. It looks interesting. Like it's coming to Epic. It's gonna be on Epic Game Store, and they're releasing like the first chapter in like an early access way. But kind of cool looking, right?
I hope this does well, and an art style like this could make more games like this.
Yeah, it's like they're finally starting to get almost close to the point where cell shading is not as offensive to me.
If only that G.I. Joe game looked like this.
Oh yeah,
that terrible fucking game.
I kind of wanted to do a thing where it's like for the cutscenes, can they do like a He-Man thing where they always use the same animation of the person like running away
I'd be cool
or
with that.
doing a jump or whatever? If I could go back and watch original He-Man, guys, like the production budget on that show was not high.
No, the same with your OG Transformers, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was this sequence that made me laugh so hard in Transformers. So it's an episode where that's actually kind of similar to what Michael Bay used for the third movie.
Yeah.
Where the Decepticons are like, hey, if the Autobots leave, we'll be super nice now and we'll just leave.
Yeah.
And then so the mayor or whatever, the town's like, Autobots, get the fuck out of here. And Optimus is like, I guess. And then so they leave. And then the second they leave, Megatron's like, "Are they gone?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, this shit's mine now." And so the mayor is like, "Never." And so when Megatron slaps him down, it's literally a frame of the guy standing and then immediately on the ground. So there's no animation in between of him getting hit.
Yeah.
And so I laughed for like a solid minute because it was so funny to me.
I went back to go watch some of the original He-Man when the Kevin Smith He-Man first came out, and everybody was like, "This isn't like old He-Man." And then I went back to watch old He-Man, and I was like, "You're right. This doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And old He-Man does suck."
That's the thing. Nostalgia fucks up everybody's lens, and then they don't go back and watch them, and then like, oh wait, this is terrible.
Yeah. I actually kind of liked He-Man once it all finished up.
I actually really liked it.
Worst thing they could have done was cut that thing off mid-season. If they
And then
just
not tell anybody.
aired the whole thing at the same time, I think it would have been fine.
I love
but-
its finale. That finale is really fucking cool.
Yeah. I love fucking weird, brainless barbarian
Yeah,
He-Man.
fucking incredible Savage Hulk He-Man.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was all over the place. The fact that the fucking Scareglow is like this huge plot point in
It was
the
really cool,
thing,
actually.
and it's like, yeah.
I was like, actually really like this. And,
Yep.
you know, they're supposed to make more, so who knows?
Man-at-Arms is a badass.
Yeah, that whole thing was so cool, guys.
Well, speaking of giant robots, Michael, guess what's coming to Steam?
I actually know this because I got an email asking me if I wanted to do the beta for the Steam one.
For Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2?
Yeah, and I was like, well, why?
Did you know there's a new Gundam coming to Netflix?
I thought I did, but I can't remember what it was called.
It's something really weird. It's called like Gundam Flower Rainbow or something
Somebody was telling
like
me
that,
about it, but I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, I hear decent things about what it looks like so far.
Yep. Battle Operation 2 is coming to Netflix. Or no, Steam.
It's going to Steam, yes.
Which is kind of cool. I like Gundam Battle Operation 2. It's a little grindy, it's a little gotchy, but like it's fun to play. So
yeah, it's a fun time. It's got enough suits in it, especially if you're a UC fan.
Yeah.
That you will have a lot of fun with it. And they put some newer suits in it too.
April 14th, today, the day we're recording this, is when the network test kicks off, and it'll be going until the 16th.
I'm amazed it wasn't already a PC game.
Yeah, it was just on PlayStation for a little while. How the fuck is this?
David Spade's getting a special.
My God, Netflix here. I don't, of all the things I've thought about canceling, Netflix is the one.
It's been kind of not a great time because they keep losing shit.
I don't know, it's like Spriggan looks pretty cool.
And even the stuff they get hasn't been staying as the issue.
What is it? What the fuck is this? It's fucking, I can't. Gotta figure it out. Gotta say the thing. We're to the end, man. Everybody's getting weird. Not Hathaway. The Witch from Mercury.
Oh, that's right. That's what the thing is.
It's nothing. It's like the teaser is very little.
Yeah, I saw
Gundam.
the image is what I saw, but
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, Gundam Witches. Let's see. Just a reminder to everybody, the Bethesda launcher is going to Steam April 27th. Like, fucking pour one out and then mop up the ground because you just spilled a bunch of beard there.
For some reason.
Yeah.
For a launcher.
For a launcher.
Like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Think about your life.
I think it actually, the launcher itself will stay on until, May, I believe, but...
That sounds right.
Yeah. Let's see. Square Enix has filed a trademark for New Tactics Ogre. Some people
Is it a Shrek game? They're making more Shrek.
No. Tactics Ogre.
Shrek Tactics game sounds awesome, though.
Being a tactics game, yeah. The last tactics game that came out was the re-release of Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together on the PSP in 2010.
Oh, that's its actual name.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Cling. A Cling. I heard Clean. I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Let Us Cling.
I thought it was like a Mr.
Together.
Clean game. Gotta clean up before they come back, before the ogres get here.
There was a big data leak out of GeForce Now, and one of the things they found in there was something called Tactics Ogre Remaster. It actually makes a lot more sense for Square to remaster and re-release Tactics Ogre than it does to make a new game.
It's true.
Because
They've been doing
Square
that a lot.
doesn't like to do that shit anymore. They like to make weird spin-off games, and I don't know. It's
Chaos, Jeff.
Ah.
It's going to be about chaos.
about chaos.
Like fedoras
God damn.
and Frank Sinatra music.
Also, it appears that we're in the very early stages of a new Subnautica game.
Ooh.
This Unknown Worlds put out basically a tweet looking for a senior narrative director to work on the next Subnautica in the Subnautica universe.
Well, that's exciting. People really like the Subnautica universe so far.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Let's see. This seems like should be a joke, but Myst is getting turned into a golf game.
Oh, my God.
There is a golf game. There's a VR mini golf game called Walkabout Mini Golf that is currently out, and they are going to be converting Myst into a few holes of mini golf and then adding that as additionally to this game.
Well, that's kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah. And then let's see what else we've got. We've got some Unreal Engine 5 stuff. This is some fun stuff. We got Unreal Engine 5. Somebody's trying to kind of remake say it's like inspired by Mirror's Edge, and then you look at it and you're like, that's fucking Mirror's Edge.
That's just the character.
That's just Mirror's Edge.
Make him a dude, and then you can say it's inspired by it at this point.
Like
give him a mohawk and a wheelchair.
The city is the exact same like color palette and like the same kind of overall like where can you run, where can't you run.
Well, I'm fine with that. It's just the fact that the character is just the fucking character.
What's the name of the lady from Mirror's Edge?
I didn't even remember. That's the thing. I played it.
Faith?
And I was awful at it.
Was that Faith?
I remember I got stuck on quite a few parts of it.
But yeah, this just it goes to show that Unreal Engine 5 is already like just in a week being used for some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, people are doing a lot of fun stuff with it.
Because like this is obviously just kind of using some of the modular tools, and like what they ended up with looks really fucking good.
It shows how great that fucking engine is. Oh my god.
Yeah. Better than that though, I showed Michael the Superman guy.
It was really cool. It just makes me sad that people aren't doing anything with these flight ideas.
Yeah, somebody took a portion of the Matrix City, and then they put like a guy in it, and then they gave that guy flight powers, and then they had him fly around, and then they put that shit on Twitter, and all of us poor abused Superman fans were like, "Whoa!"
It makes me like real happy with the idea. Did you hear about the Discovery thing?
Which thing?
So Discovery bought Warner Brothers or something like that. And they came out with the statement talking about like, hey, we need to like figure out how to monetize the DC universe better with the characters that like we clearly are not using. Like, and they straight up say Superman as one of the characters. And they're like, we need to figure out how to exploit these characters. Like they literally say exploit in one of the sentences at one point, but it's like, yes, exploit the others. I don't care if just do it. Like I don't care what you're doing.
Just not Batman again, please. Fuck's sake.
I would rather be exploited with other characters than Batman right now, please, for the love of God.
But this isn't all, because the guy that made this wants to expand it into an actual game.
He should. And it doesn't even have to be Superman, just something the superheroic. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. They show, well, first off, there's a couple more clips they showed. One of them was the chaos physics system of Unreal Engine 5 just freaking the fuck out. Where he lands on a car, and then the car just like fucking goes crazy, goes berserk, like starts flying around in the air and spinning.
Oh, jeez.
Sit and watch it spin around and do crazy shit.
I like the last second where it lands. It's kind of great.
The other one was basically showing like a kind of a telekinesis, like a kind of picking up objects in the world and then using them, kind of throwing them at places. This is a different clip than the one that I thought that it was.
It's still pretty fucking cool though.
It's kind of just speeding around.
I do like that he mentions like I would like to make a game that's not related to Superman because
right, you get sued.
You get sued very easily. Yeah,
you don't just fucking take Superman and do whatever you want with it.
Well, plus he's not like a full super big developer, so even if he wanted to, they weren't just going to give him the license.
Yeah, so he's trying to get together a team right now, which is pretty cool.
Make a Supreme game. Do what Alan Moore did.
Ooh. Or who's that guy from the Wildstorm universe? Mr. Majestic.
Yes.
Make a Mr. Majestic game.
Just every other character that they'll probably let you use.
There's a million Superman ripoffs.
What was the one from the Ninja Turtles universe? There was one that's actually like a Superman from the Ninja Turtles universe, and I can't remember what his name was.
I do not know the answer.
Somebody was telling me about him not that long ago, and I was like, they should make a game out of that guy. Silver something. I can't remember his name. He was in the 2003 show that they did. Cool.
And last but not least, Michael, after years and years and years, the speedrunning community has finally figured out the answer to a problem.
What did they do?
That problem is that big fucking ladder in Snake Eater.
Oh, yeah. He sent this to me.
Yep.
And I was very, very impressed.
Yep. Because they previously, there's a part in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater where you have to go up a big-ass ladder, and there wasn't any way to get up it. But now
you had to hear the song the whole way up.
Yep. because Hideo Kojima wants you, but like the speedrunning community does, they figured out a way where you can just like equip the right things, go to a certain position at the bottom of the ladder, switch to other things in your inventory, and it puts Snake into a T-pose. And then once you put the Snake into a T-pose and you try to climb the ladder, it just goes boop, and you're at the top of it.
And it's kind of amazing.
Like, for anybody that's ever played Metal Gear Solid 3, like, not having to climb that ladder, that's some shit right there.
I love it. I love it, though, because, yeah, I love that game so much, and that sequence is so fucking strange.
Yep.
Even when you first play it, and you're just like, I guess.
Hideo Kojima is like, listen to the song.
You'll love this shit.
Listen to the song.
It's like, but I already heard the song. You're going to listen to it again, but in full.
Yep.
I still love that song, though.
That's it, folks. That's all. I don't know if I can talk anymore. Except
we were
to
at
say,
this for a while.
Michael, well, actually, I mean, I'll be honest, I looked at the time and it was like 2 hours and 15 minutes about normal podcast.
I guess
like,
that's true, yeah.
It just feels a lot longer. I need to figure something out. I don't know if this pace of podcast can continue into the future. Michael, tell the fine people of the internet where they can find you when you're not here.
You can find me on oneofus.net. We do a lot of movie intelligence reviews. I'm going to be I have a review out for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 right now.
Ooh.
Which I like. I would say go out and listen to that. And there's a lot of other reviews on there as well that are done by Tessa as well of Rich Like Time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Chris is on Rich Like too.
Also, Chris
runs the whole damn thing.
The one who runs the thing, yes.
Runs the whole damn thing.
But I know how much you people love Tessa, so
go check out One of Us. Take a look, and I mean, what am I going to promote? You're already here. If they made it all the way to the end of the 2 hours and 20 minutes of Rage Like podcast, they're my fucking best friends. It's just my mom at this point. It's like you and my mom, and those are the only people that are listening. So, hi, Mom. Hi. Have a good day. I'll call you some point next week, I promise. I don't know why I'm waving in real life. I have to go to bed.
Also, happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter.
Because Easter will be this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Last but not least, Jesus. Bye.